All right. Let's see. Just to make sure everything's running smoothly. X this out over here. Sound. All right, pretty good. And then what we'll do is go to session out. Oh, it's not. Oh, I never turned it on. My God. Okay. No. Oh my God, bro. I can't. I can't win. I just can't win. I just can't win. No. There you go. Oh my God. I can't win. Goodbye. I just want to cast through laps. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so today we're gonna
Crash
do a little...
Outrick says WSP.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Rick. Okay, let me see. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. So I'm gonna go through here. Pass this out. Open this. Okay, cast apps ready, and then we'll go to. Yeah, I'll figure this out. Alright, so we're gonna finish off doing a bit of the animatic. I think I'm just gonna keep them stick-ish. Yeah, I think it looks funny. So I'm gonna. I don't have to redraw most of this anymore. I can just copy and paste majority of this that I made. So what I need to do is, let's see. Let's see. Oh, what's that? That's kind of cool. Oh, they changed some stuff on the ranking thing. Pretty cool. Okay, so grab his head here. As we listen to this, let's go.
Google just got fined $30 million to settle a lawsuit over collecting children's YouTube data. And yet they want us to give them our IDs, credit cards, and video verifications, and they claim, don't worry, we'll keep your info safe. They got hit with a class action lawsuit recently that alleged that Google collected data from children watching YouTube videos. While this kind of data collection has become common, it remains illegal to collect data from children under the age of 13 based on the COPPA legislation. They said they didn't do it, but they're going to be settling the case anyways, and up to 45 million people in the United States could be eligible to receive small payments from the class action lawsuit. So now we know why YouTube is collecting everybody's IDs, because they're trying to show the people who keep finding them tens of millions and sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars, hey look, we're protecting kids now, we're asking for ID verification. Their parent company, Alphabet, also agreed in 2019 to pay $170 million in fines and change some practices to settle similar charges by the US Federal Trade Commission. What were the charges in 2019? Oh, they had to pay $170 million because they were collecting data on kids. Oh yeah, by the way, they also had to pay over $1 billion to settle a Texas data privacy lawsuit in May of 2025. What was the lawsuit over? Google agreed to a $1.35 billion data privacy settlement with the Lone Star State over the alleged use of facial recognition, location data, and Chrome Incognito. Facial recognition. Let's go over here to the channel and feature eligibility. Let's go and see what they need if they want us to have advanced features on the website. Oh, look, a video verification, where we have to look up and down to get access to advanced features. Huh, I wonder what they're going to be doing with our data. But it's okay though, according to this YouTube employee, they're not going to be retaining data from our ID verifications for the purposes of advertising. Maybe it'll be retained for something else, who knows? But yeah, I guarantee you this is something that a lot of you guys didn't know about, especially this recent development of Google having to pay $30 million for collecting child's data. They claim they didn't do anything wrong, but they settled anyways. I'm pretty sure Google has the lawyers and the actual legal means to make sure that they can just win the case. So why do they need to settle to begin with? It would be different if it was just like an individual settling a court case, because for one person, those types of legal fees are going to be very expensive. And sometimes it does just save you more money to settle a court case as opposed
Okay, let's go.
keep fighting it for years. But Google, they've got $1 quadrillion. So why didn't they just try to fight the lawsuit if they knew that they were in the right? So remember, they're currently doing a $30 million settlement for allegedly collecting children's data. In 2019, they had to do another $170 million fine for, again, collecting children's data. And then they had to do a $1.375 billion payout to Texas over the alleged use of facial recognition, location data, and Chrome Incognito. And this is all based on biometric data. If you guys don't know what that means, it's basically data that is collected from the use of your face. It refers to unique, measurable biological or behavioral characteristics used to identify and authenticate individuals. So things like fingerprints, facial features, or voice patterns. So for example, they already have most of our voices if we've ever made videos on YouTube. Then they want to request our facial data through a video verification or a selfie. And those two pieces of information enough would give them so much information about each individual that uses YouTube. And as we've seen through 3 fines and settlements, Google has been collecting a lot of people's data. But that shouldn't come to a surprise. A lot of websites collect everyone's data. However, when you do see something that has concrete proof behind it and you're still like, oh, I don't think Google will collect anybody's data. I think
Most of the
YouTube's
stuff that I'm
fine.
doing
You're
is
just
usually
giving
the
your ID
extremely
verification. They'll just
boring
delete it after a
stuff.
while. Yeah, sure, buddy. They were completely
But
in the
like
right and they
once the
didn't do anything
animac's
wrong.
done,
That's why they
that's
were willing
when
to pay
everyone
over
loves
$1
it and think,
billion
"Oh my
to
god,
do some
this is so
settlements.
amazing!
Interesting.
This
The
is
Attorney
funny."
General of Texas, Paxton, actually sued Google in 2022 for unlawfully tracking and collecting users' private data. Seems like these attorney generals have come out to play recently in terms of privacy and protecting kids on the internet because, remember, Roblox is actually being sued by the Attorney General of Louisiana as well. Google spokesman Jose claimed that the company did not admit any wrongdoing or liability in the settlement, which involved allegations related to the Chrome browser's incognito setting, disclosures
Hello,
related to
Sprout.
location
What's
history
going
on
on?
Google Maps app, and biometric claims related to Google Photos. Well, then why were you guys willing to pay over $1 billion to do the settlement to begin with? Why not fight the case out and make sure that you prove that you're right in court? Canon released a statement after they won the lawsuit where they said, for years, Google secretly tracked people's movements, private searches, and even their voice prints and facial geometry through their products and services. I fought back and won. The Google spokesperson said Google did not have to make any changes to products in connection with the settlement and that all of the policy changes that the company made in connection with the allegations were previously announced or implemented. Right. Yeah, you guys definitely didn't make any changes because you just had to pay over $1 billion. You guys just had those changes planned to begin with. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure. This dude apparently also got over $1 billion from Meta as well, which is the company that I believe owns Facebook. And they were doing the same shit where they ran facial recognition software on virtually every face and contained in the photographs uploaded to Facebook for over a decade, capturing records of the facial geometry of the people depicted. So basically what I'm saying is do not trust Google with your biometric data. Don't submit an ID to YouTube, man. And this is a point I like to keep bringing up because I know not everybody watches every single one of my videos. I've seen a lot of people criticize myself and other monetized creators who make videos about the whole ID verification thing, saying, oh, they already have your ID though, so why are you even talking? They have my information in terms of my first and last name and my bank account and stuff, but they do not have a picture of my face. They've never needed that. They've never needed a video verification of my face. YouTube does not know what I look like at all. So no, they don't have my ID. Remember that any government official ID will have a picture of your face, like a passport or a driver's license. That was something that I was never required to provide, and that's something that I will not provide if asked. And one of the reasons why I won't provide it is because of things like this. Google keeps having to pay millions and sometimes billions of dollars because they keep breaching the privacy of children. So why would I trust them to secure the privacy of adults? As you can see, whenever they keep breaching the privacy of children, they keep getting a lot of consequences for it. Now, obviously, when you breach the privacy of adults, it's a lot less egregious in the eyes of the law. Remember that YouTube tells you exactly what type of information and requirements are needed for certain features on the website. So for example, for the standard features, all you have to do is make sure that you don't have any community guideline strikes, and then you can upload videos, create playlists, add new videos to existing playlists, and add collaborators to playlists. For intermediate features like having custom thumbnails, live streaming, and videos longer than 15 minutes, you just need to make sure that your standard features are enabled, so basically don't have any community guideline strikes, and you just need to verify a phone number. This was something that I've done like 6 or 7 years ago. And so for the advanced features, remember, you just need the intermediate features enabled, and then you need only one of these: video verification, valid ID, and channel history. My channel history has already been solidified because I've been uploading videos for over 7 years. So this is more so for the people that YouTube determines doesn't have valid channel history. So basically, they look through your account and determine that you're under 18. You would either have to build your channel history to prove that you're over 18, or you have to provide a valid ID and video verification. Now, obviously, as we just went over in this video, Google likely has some nefarious reasons for wanting to have your ID and your video verification in the first place. Remember that any valid ID, like a passport, driver's license, or anything, all of them are going to have a picture of your face. Now, what did we just go over in this video? The fact that YouTube has been collecting the data of kids, allegedly. I hate that I have to say allegedly. And they also had to pay out $1.4 billion to Texas for allegedly using facial recognition from YouTube and Google. So I'll be honest, I don't want to give a vocal minority attention, but I gotta do it because I just keep seeing it on Reddit over and over. Stop fucking criticizing people who want to talk about this. This is a fucking big deal. This isn't like some random ass YouTube drama where people are fucking milking someone saying it's over, it's done, it's over, it's done. This is about privacy laws. This is about protecting your own image and making sure that your information isn't just collected and sold. This is about making sure that people can actually go on the internet without having to fucking provide their ID to every website, game, or anything that they do. So yeah, I'm gonna make fucking videos talking about it. And no, YouTube doesn't have a picture of my face, and even if they did, it doesn't fucking matter. I still want to protect the privacy of myself and other people because this is bullshit. This is a slippery slope that's going down a bad path, and we need to make sure that we actually try to stop this now and get people to talk about this now before it's too late. The parents or guardians of 34 children allege that Google violated dozens of state laws by letting content providers bait children with cartoons, nursery rhymes, and other content to help it collect personal information even after the 2019 settlement, the report added. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You know how Markiplier made a prediction like years ago saying that honey is shady? He couldn't put his finger on why, but he could just tell that there was something wrong with the honey coupon app. I'm going to throw my prediction out about Cocomelon. I have no information to prove this. I just have a feeling that there's just something weird and shady that's going on with Cocomelon. I have heard that kids will hear the little Cocomelon jingle at the start of their videos, and they come running in the room like Goku Black smelling immortal or something. I don't know. It's just really weird. It's pretty shady. So yes, Google is a...
That's not reading my ear. Oh, maybe because... Okay, hold on. I hope that shit is not on. Hold on, is that thing on? Nope. Just making sure. Hey, Charlotte. I think that's either you. Can you draw Charlotte from Genshin? They have to pay for that. You now Sam does art, or even do I know Sam does art? I used to be part of his Patreon. Never mind, they already translated. Okay. Hi, hey Aaron, hold on one second. Trying to figure out why I can't hear you guys through my ears. Fucking. It's always doing something. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, there you go. I got the work. No, you know what? I'm gonna just switch the sound to my ears because like I don't think anyone's really paying attention to. Hold on. One second. There we go. Hello. 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 Didn't pay attention to. This is pretty much done. So delete that. So we're gonna like okay. So this is from the Resident Evil. We're gonna look at this Resident Evil trailer. It's 7 minutes long. I guess it's some gameplay that they want to show off. Right here. This is literally how it starts. I'm not even kidding.
Hey guys, JJ here, and I recently got a look at brand new gameplay from the upcoming Resident Evil 9 Requiem, featuring the large pursuer monster, the sanitarium location, key items, the first and third person gameplay, and much more. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Resident Evil 9 Requiem is just around the corner, and the demo is slowly rolling out to the public with play sessions at Gamescom and PAX West, with a very likely public release shortly after. The full hands-on demo opens.
Well, when it comes to traditional, I don't really know per se, because I've never did commissions traditional wise, but I always did commissions digital. So I can't really tell you because I know they're the same, but they're different at the same time. I never really did any commissions doing traditional work. Now, if someone requests me to draw a traditional drawing for like my swimsuit summer event, then I have like a small price there for them to see it, that I made it. That's something they want to see, but I'm not going to send it to them because it's like literally one copy, unlike a digital drawing. I can just copy it every time and send it. So and plus I have to send their mail, I have to get their information. It's a big headache. So I rather do commissions digital than traditional. But what's your advice? Oh, and the only advice I can at least give you is calculate what your work is worth. Don't sell low because you think that's going to get you the best work, and don't sell too high if you're being honest with yourself. So don't sell your commissions at a low price just because you think that'll bring customers in, because that's where you're going to get taken advantage of. Not only by your customers, but for yourself, because if you make it too low, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a bunch of people and they're going to ask you to do a bunch of things, and then you're going to be doing twice as much work than you should, and then you're going to get burnt out pretty easily, and then you're going to make so little money for it, and you're going to hate yourself. So price it in a way that makes sense to you, that seems valuable to you, that feels valuable to you, so you don't feel like you're doing more than you should. I would at least say that. I learned that the hard way, especially at the beginning stages. I used to do that. And I think this is where this behavior for most viewers come from, with the whole, they come in and say, draw Goku, or draw this character, out of nowhere, and they expect to just do it for free. No. If I'm going to draw the character you're going to ask me to do, you're going to pay for it. I'm not going to do that for free. Because 9 times out of 10, when they run up and do that, they don't even stay. Because they don't have the patience to sit there, because they have pretty much like the attention span of a goldfish. So they're not going to sit there for you to do all that just to draw the Goku character. What they're going to do is probably ask you. You probably might do it. They'll leave and they'll come back like 10 hours later, and then especially with no response. Or they might come back days later and see if you was even still drawing it and ask you if you drew it. Like, why the fuck would you come back 10 days later to see if I drew the thing that you asked me for free? That makes no sense. If you're a client and you paid me, that's one thing. But if you ask me, just do it for free because you just passed by. Fuck you.
With Grace strapped to a gurney inside a sanitarium. The first thing that stands out is the level of detail in Grace's face and hair. You can actually see her head red and irritated from being hung upside down, and the strands of hair look incredibly lifelike. Capcom spent a big chunk of their developer message talking about the hair, and honestly, I can see why. After freeing herself from the gurney, she quickly gathers her bearings. It's revealed that they were draining draining her blood, and she's already lost quite a bit of it. Something I noticed when comparing the third person and first person gameplay is that they actually feel a little different. In third person, Grace stumbles around as she's running from the monster.
No. I don't want you telling me how it's going. I want to just see it. If they have gameplay of that, I don't want to hear some asshole just talking to me and telling me what's happening, because that beats the fun. Let me see. Hold on. Resident Evil 9 gameplay. I just want to see the gameplay. I don't want to hear anyone telling me how it goes, because that's boring and annoying.
Welcome to Resident Evil Requiem, otherwise known as Resident Evil 9. Nvidia have invited me to come and play and record this in 4K, so...
Mike, can you say hi real quick?
Got some notes here. Blood extraction, check pulse. We don't need any of that. Can I do the light, though? Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That does happen. Thanks, Mike. That does happen a lot, and that can be a real issue. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why is it? Oh, wait. Hold on.
She'll even fall to...
Dude, what the fuck?
He's dead. Infected.
Yeah, you're not wrong, because like when you watch like I guess if you look at old games like Resident Evil what's it 6 or what's it 7, dude? Biohazard, you can see, you can significantly see the difference between this game and this game. And when you see it, it's like I can see the problems.
Dude.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of dudes are gonna. There's gotta be some people who are ASMR degenerate and be listening to this and be like, this is their jam. Like straight up, there is too much gasping, breathing, and just like huffing. Too much of that, I think. Like it's like I understand a character needs to, like they breathe and stuff, and they're kind of stressed out, but I think it's a bit excessive because I don't remember hearing that much when playing Biohazard. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know. Like there's a lot of dudes that are gonna listen to this and be like, this is what they need to listen to tomorrow. Because I'm hearing too much of breathing than I am seeing gameplay. I don't think this was the best showcase so far. But then again, we'll see. Right? Hey, Brett King. I'm working on an animatic. A Transformers animatic for my mod. I don't know if I'll play this game on stream. I'm debating it. That's why I'm watching this. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Okay, this is the one thing that I noticed that a lot of horror games don't do, which Outlast does perfectly, and I don't know why they don't utilize this in most horror games. If you want people to feel terrified playing a horror game, they need the look back button. Outlast did this perfectly and had this feature for a very long time. I'm surprised that no other horror game does this. Because if you want to look back and get terrified even more on what's chasing you, you have to literally turn the character around, and that slows you down, and then you get fucked. Right? It would be a lot more terrifying if you can literally look behind you when running at the same time. Outlast has that in all 3 games, I think. Hey Gray, what's going on? It's the weirdest thing. Why do they never have a look back button? That is so strange. It's Resident Evil. They should have this by now. It was, but since they're doing like first person, that's where the problem comes. Because like, Outlast did that. Because it was the first Outlast. I remember playing it back in God knows um, when I was still in high school at the time. I think, uh, fuck it was. I think it was revolutionary when you can run away from a monster or a killer that was chasing you, and then you can press the I think it was RB button I think on Xbox, and you can literally look behind you while still running straight. It's just a quick glimpse of what's behind you, just to see if the character is still behind you. I thought that was kind of crazy because just like the fact that you know the character was running after you and they're gaining on you is one thing. I think what happens is when you look back, they actually gain on you a slightly bit just to make it more terrifying. I don't know why they don't do that. It's the fucking most weirdest thing they have not do this. It's Resident Evil 9 by now. Like Jesus Christ. Oh, it's scared of light. It doesn't like light. I just want to tell you I've been going through a lot lately, and you always make me happy. Oh, no problem, Gray. No problem, my dude.
Oh, what the hell was that thing?
Glad that my videos or my streams came up to good. I'm happy about that. But let me know. Thank you, my bro. Thank you. Yep.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
god.
Oh yeah, they should add all that. The blinking feature. Like the blinking feature from Alone in the Dark, and then the looking back feature, and then what they should have. What was that one game for GameCube that people said was revolutionary? It kind of fucks with your perception of things. I forgot what it was called. It was an old GameCube game that was technically a horror, and I forgot what it was called. And people said it was still revolutionary to this day because it was like it makes you question whatever you're doing is actually like real or not in the game, and you could not tell. I forgot what game it was called. It'll come to me. It was for GameCube. I don't think it was for the other platform. There we go. I think that was called. I think it was Internal Darkness.
Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way.
Eternal Darkness. Yep, you're right. This is Eternal Darkness. They should add all those features into one game. Let me turn off. It's easier to see. He's right to see. You're not wrong. I think the reason why games now are harder to like get into or like be impressed with is because we have so many games from the past, and we're so desensitized by our entertainment system that we've probably seen everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yep. Yo, Buzz. We gotta go. I hope to see you tomorrow. Okay. Okay, good. Hopefully, I'll be here tomorrow. Excuse me. No, sounds okay. Is it hard to see, guys? Just to let you guys know, I'm on Twitch. You can see. Thank you. I'm on Twitch. I'm not just on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Just to be clear, if you go watch on Instagram or TikTok, you're seeing it through the phone. I'm in a dark room, so you guys can see it more clearly, given the game is literally dark as hell. I can't have the light on because you can't see it. If you're having a hard time seeing anything, you can go to Twitch and watch it there. It's much bigger. Much bigger compared to the... Oh, fuck, hold on. I just now noticed it was just a... I'm kind of in the way. I'm sorry, guys. I did not know. I did not notice that. My bad. I move myself. My tiny self out of the way. Okay. My tiny self. Alright. I'm gonna play like this. Maybe this is much easier for you guys. I think you guys will like this better. It's a little bit more room. But it will block you guys' comments. Well, actually, this is from... No one cares. It's from fucking TikTok. No one's talking over there. I'm planning to just jump off TikTok, to be honest. Fuck TikTok. Okay, yeah, I'll put it right there. I have to get a... I need to get a alarm system or some type of overlay for TikTok comments, because you guys talk more than anything, and I enjoy that. I actually enjoy YouTube. People on YouTube talk. TikTok people just don't say jack shit unless I'm drawing some insane degenerate shit. So that just tells you right there. Oh, I know I look kind of heavy on Twitch. Let me fix that real quick. Let me see. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Well, there it is. Gotcha. Ooh, that was way better. Okay. Super better now. I got you guys. I got you. That. Then push this down. Yeah. This is up there. Here's a good deal. Go. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Bam. Okay, I hope that's easier for you guys. Oh. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think it's a game I saw. Like, it's a horror game where you're a blind person, and sound you can only see through sound. And I think there is a killer in the house or something, or some type of monster. I've heard of that game. I think it was an indie game. There's a game like that, and everything's in white, I believe, or something like that. Hard to see anything. Was that supposed to happen? I don't think that was supposed to happen in the demo, because they usually rehearse this type of stuff. Okay, I know Resident Evil is known for this, but why does Resident Evil always have some weird, creepy statues in nearly every game? It's always a creepy statue of religious, like, or some type of like. It's usually religious, like depictions in some way, but it's always some creepy statue you have to use for a stupid puzzle. They should do that thing in Doctor Who where they have like the Watchers, I think it's called, the angels, the crying angels or whatever the fuck. That if you don't look at them, if you look at them, they'll stay put, but you look away. They should play a little bit of that, use that idea, because like I don't know, I feel like they have too many statues in nearly every game. Right? Are you guys sure you're having a? You can see it better?
Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way.
Ew. Hey, DOR, what's going on? Again? You got bitten again? Oh, what the hell? The medical industry must do that. Oh wait, bro, did bro just die? And that's why we're doing. Oh no, 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 no! They're doing it third person. Okay, that's why they're redoing it. Okay. Okay, we're watching it from a third person's view now. Okay. So if you want to play third person to see what that's gonna look like. If anything, if they put it in third person, it's just Silent Hill at that point, if you think about it. To a degree, but Silent Hill is more like supernatural.
Oh my god.
I guess. Oh, I always hated this in games. Oh my god, I always hated this. if they did, then it would bring nostalgia, but it'll probably make things a lot more frustrating to play the game when they put those fixed camera angles back in the day. But I can see why people like that appeal. They could make that. They could, you know what, to bring that back, they could make that as an option. They can say free camera, like how you would right now, and they can say fixed camera angles as an option. They should put it as an option. So if you want to play games with fixed camera angles, and then they should have like a achievement: play the game fully fixed. Or yeah, I would do that. Like that'll be an achievement called play the game fully fixed, meaning you play the whole game on fixed camera angles, and then play the game fully freeform, all freeform camera angles, and then play the game in full third person. Then play the full game and only just in first person. You cannot switch between the two. Yeah, didn't they have fixed camera angles in that too? What the fuck?
Anne,
Hi, Mom.
you have been on that thing all day.
Well, if you're gonna work so late.
Get some sleep, eh?
I'm almost done, just a sec.
No, it's more like replayability. So like there's because that's the one thing with single player games. They usually are played like once, sometimes depending on how it's constructed. So if you give them that option, like play the game in only third person, play the game only first person, or play the game only in fixed, or like let's put it this way, you can play the third person with fixed, so you can get both achievements at the same time. So like it's kind of like that. So like if you play third person but freeform, I don't know. I think it'll be virtually impossible. Oh, I got you. Okay, but I think that'd be a great option. I think that'd be a great thing for most nostalgic. I think a lot of people will enjoy that. But it would probably be a lot of work. But then again, I think it'll be kind of difficult to play third person off fixed view. So that might be disabled if you're playing third person. That's virtually impossible. How can I play first person when it's all on a fixed, camera angle?
It's really coming down hard.
Mom, phone. Mom.
It's right beside you.
Hello?
Miss Ashcroft?
Yes.
Who was it?
Dunno. They asked for Miss Ashcroft and then they hung up on me.
Rude.
What the?
They're coming. Grace, we need to go.
Go where? Mom, what's going on?
Hurry.
Wait, who's coming? What's wrong?
We need to keep our voices down.
This is ridiculous.
Come on.
Tell me what's going on.
Now is not the time. Stay close.
Mom, wait.
Grace, keep moving.
Who's that? Oh, I'm so sorry about the power outage.
What happened?
It's really no excuse, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Don't worry.
I should have it fixed soon. I just need to find my...
Come on in, Grace.
That's crazy.
Grace, look at me. Grab my
I
hands.
wouldn't put it past them. These people are so wild like that.
In and out. Breathe in and out. promise you, I will explain this all to you one of these days. Grace, please know that you are my hope. Never forget that.
What are you talking about?
Just... I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Mom, I'm scared.
No. We need to find a way out of here now.
But we don't have any of our stuff.
We can come back for it later, Grace.
Alright, that's the end. Oh, is this every trailer? I think we all seen these trailers by now. I think, yeah, these are every trailer. We just saw the latest, the one that we watched at the very beginning was the latest trailer, I guess, of the gameplay. So I guess that's over. So we've seen all that. Everyone's seen all that. Hold on. What the hell? What the F? Hold on. Okay, I thought I was seeing things. Okay. Okay, Bandai retcon same sex. We'll get to that last. Nope. Let me see. Nope. Testing it. Nope. You think so? Anti AI art, which ones got really dumb. Okay. Let's see here. Madness in cinema. Sorry. Why does Kick do this? Anyway, so like, yeah, you said like you said that the gear what do you call it? GTA 6 will be like GTA 5 with a reskin. I'm not a I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say yes because forever. No, no, it's not even that. It's not even like what you can do. It's more of like what they're going to like literally censor at this point. I don't even think it'll be GTA 5. If anything, it's gonna be like, I think they're gonna be like GTA 1. To be honest, if 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 the things that they're saying is true about what they're gonna do with GTA 6 with the constant censorship and the Australian feminists and shit like that, and now with the child act and stuff, I wonder what they're gonna take out, what they're gonna absolutely positively like, you know, wash down from the jokes and stuff that's supposed to be genuinely funny. So like, because let's be honest, we all knew there was gonna be some form of censorship in GTA 6, but now it's more rampant with the censorship that's going on right now. I wouldn't put it past them that they took like majority of most things out of it that was supposed to be edgy and or funny. So I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm just looking for there's another one? It won't be? I don't know about that one. I feel like it will be censored. That's just me. I believe it will be. Most likely. Because like I honestly think they're gonna do that just because they can, not because they want to. I mean, that's because they just to prove a message, or because like it's GTA 6. Because if they censor GTA 6, I'm telling you, if they censor GTA 6 more than the original is supposed to be, then no game is safe. No game is safe. A billion dollar video game like GTA 6. And then especially with everything's happening so globally at the same time, that's not a mistake. That is happening on purpose. For some odd reason. I can't really say what it is, but it's some odd reason. Okay, let me see here. That's for me. What's this one? So there's another Hollywood Halloween movie. Is that a movie? Oh my god. Can we let this shit die, bro? Like, I'm dead serious. Is this a video game or this is upcoming? Oh, cool. Oh wait, this is a game. Okay, this is a Halloween game. It's from Halloween, the game.
A quiet town. Just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But it was here, on October 31st, 1963.
Yeah, I've been hearing that fucking movie is horrible. With Ice Cube, I think with it they say it's horrible. Like, it is horrible. Like, it is. You know what? Fuck TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok. Fuck TikTok. I don't care. I ain't stream on TikTok. TikTok is gonna just slobber on these nuts. I don't know. Busta Rhymes? Busta Rhymes in that shit? No way. There's no way Busta Rhymes in the world. Wars at War. I know.
No motive, no warning.
Oh
No
my god, are you serious? Oh no. Oh no. Has he been in any movies? Wait. Has he been in any movies before? I don't think so.
provocation. Just senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope.
Wow, that's
That
horrible.
he could be reached. But what I met was not a child. No emotion. Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree. It was a reckoning.
Whoa, calm down. He was going to reach it. Come on, we have to go.
No.
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
I got you. It was just a trailer. It was just a teaser trailer. I guess you get to play as okay. He was in that? The fuck? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, where is it? Okay, we got more. This is for me. Shut it down forever. Okay, so this is from. I watched this dude a lot. I've watched him for since what 2017, 2016, and his name is Upper Echelon. He gets really like he's kind of a educated dude who likes to explain how certain things work, and he was talking about in this video he's talking about the toxicity of kick. So he said, "Shut it down forever." The toxicity of kick. I want to say the army. You play as Lori or something, and then you play as her perspective or his perspective, and then you can change like the outcomes. Probably like if you play as him, you'll kill everybody. If you play as her, you save as much as people as you can, or something like that. That might be it, but I don't know.
I want to apologize at the onset right now because I may get a little bit worked up in this video, and I'm probably going to say a few antagonistic things because of that, but just to get the ball rolling right now, I'm not sorry because of what I'll say. I'm sorry because of how it may affect the viewership experience. I'm not sorry to the people I'll be talking about. I'm sorry for the people watching, because the people that I'm talking about are beneath the rest of us. I'm speaking, of course, about kick streamers, who represent the bottom of the societal barrel. They are the lowest rung on humanity's ladder. The leeches
Twitch
of the
is a massive hypocrite for the bullshit they do.
digital world, and they, along with the platform that supports them, should be stricken from mainstream consciousness. They should be stripped of their channels, their voices, and their revenue most of all. Many of them should be imprisoned, with their freedoms revoked. Some of them have been. And if we're talking about the platform at large, as well as the people who make it popular, I want my position to be crystal clear right now. Kick and its streamers are worthless. They have no moral, ethical, or intellectual value of any kind, and thus they deserve no respect, no recognition, and no consideration. I will not treat them as my equal. I will not be charitable in my commentary, and I will continue to view them and talk about them as the garbage they are. Kick is the anal cavity of the streaming world, occupied by precisely what you might expect to find there. After being suspended or removed from any of the other more reputable platforms, it's the place that the scum of the live streaming market congregate, and as a result, understandably, it's a cesspit. Okay, clarification real fast, because I think I did just massively overgeneralize. I'm not talking about people who, for example, multi-stream. If you're streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Kick and TikTok all at the same time, I mean, good on you. You're just expanding your digital footprint, okay?
We safe, boys. We're safe. We're safe from criticism. As long as I'm multi-streaming, we safe, boys. Woo!
I really can't fault you for that. I'm talking about people that stream in the IRL category of Kick because they're not allowed to stream anywhere else. They've been removed from the other platforms, okay?
I think he's referring like the Johnny Salamis and stuff. I think y'all told me he's in prison now.
IRL people on Kick who only stream there because it's their only option, those are the people I'm talking about. If you're someone who streams on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at the same time, and you do like artwork or video game streams, I got no problem with you. I'm sorry, I kind of overgeneralized there, admittedly.
We are safe, boys. We are the saviors. Let's go.
I'm not going to show all the different clips that I'll be talking about because I'd be suspended immediately from YouTube, but Kick is the place that you go if you want to commit crimes and get paid for them. Its high-profile streamers have endangered the public, crashing cars, starting fights on the street, or sexually harassing strangers on camera. There's domestic abuse on the platform, mistreatment of the mentally ill, and everything from tricking a homeless woman who can't swim into jumping off a dock.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That chick told that old lady, or that lady who was like mentally unwell, to jump into the lake, and she was not okay. And then she jumped in the well, and she just left the lady. She could not swim. She was actually screaming for dear help. And the girl left, laughing, left in their car, and then you can hear the sirens coming to her aid. I think the lady did not die, but it was not a good look.
Away giggling, all the way to shooting strangers with paintball guns and the exploitation of minors. One more specific example would be this, where these, I struggle to even call them people, these youth argue and bicker, shoving cameras in each other's faces in a malformed attempt at stunted social bravado, until one of them shoves the other into a moving train. Oh yeah, those kids got real bright futures. Can't wait to see what they accomplish in life. Real assets to humanity right there. So much value. Anyway, what you'll often see when this type of stuff goes viral is that pesky steak logo plastered down at the bottom of the screen. I've been seeing that a
lot lately.
And there's a very convoluted yet conceptually simple reason for that. See, Kick appears to be primarily a method of circumventing gambling advertisement laws. In order to get listed on the iOS App Store, the platform had to make certain disclosures in the process, and because of those disclosures, we learned quite a few things. Kick is owned and operated by Kick Streaming Proprietary Limited, which is then owned, as in all of its shares, by EasyGo Entertainment. EasyGo has two primary shareholders, one being Ashwood Holdings Proprietary Limited, with 1/3 of the stock, which is then wholly owned by a man named Edward Craven, and the other, 2/3 that is, belongs to a man named Bihan Tehrani. Stake.com, a crypto-based online casino, is also owned by EasyGo, while operated by a company called Medium Rare. But if you drill down and look at the actual businesses, as per this Form 603 filing as an example, you'll see that Edward Craven, B. Hunterani, Ashwood Holdings, EasyGo Entertainment, Stake World Proprietary Limited, Kick Streaming Proprietary Limited, and Kick Streaming Limited all have the exact same business address. Simply put, it's a convoluted ownership obfuscation scheme, but the ultimate premise is that these two billionaires simultaneously own the crypto casino Stake.com and the Kick streaming platform, which allows them to pipe the gambling streams to the top of the directory, which is consistently one of the top categories on the website, supplement platform revenue with enormous incentives for that type of content, circumvent gambling advertisement laws, because it's just a live stream, bro, and then bombard their underage fans with non-stop gambling promo streams from their favorite degen creators who have been propped up, incentivized, and thoroughly compensated for their participation. Long story short, Kick.com is an extension of a crypto casino. It's the byproduct of a separate, far more lucrative business, and it serves as an advertising arm for that business. The technical term here is loss leader, because Kick itself doesn't make money. Even top competing live stream platforms like Twitch don't make money. Hell, even YouTube doesn't make money. But Kick doesn't need to, because the money it helps earn on stake is far higher. Now, if that's all it was, I wouldn't be nearly this harsh. Sure, it's bad on its face. The total net impact of this platform is overwhelmingly negative in a variety of ways. But it's a whole lot worse than that, because after a multi-year pattern of psychological and physical abuse, a streamer has died. The official title, for the moment, is that he died in his sleep, but when you take a step back and look at the full picture, it's not nearly so simple. I am not able or willing to show on screen what was done to him. His name was Raphael Graven, streaming under the alias Jean Pormanov. He was a vulnerable man with various personal struggles who streamed with a group of people, and this was routinely done as part of challenges. He and others would be
look like the type who look like he's kind of like not well.
Required to do certain things, complete certain video games, or follow certain rules during those streams. But tragically, his friends, truthfully, they were never his friends. No one willing to do what they did to another human being is a friend to anyone. Tragically, the streamers around him went down the path of physical and psychological abuse for viewership. What they did to him should never be done by or to anyone, but they did it for years. And I know that sometimes it's difficult to hear someone's words and fully grasp the gravity of what happened, but what they did is dark web. The way that he was treated can only be described as torture. And yet the official Kick channel in France routinely promoted these broadcasts. I want to warn people, this isn't the easiest thing to hear emotionally, but a couple days before he passed away, one of the other streamers grabbed his phone and read his most recent text messages out loud for the chat. A few days before he passed, Raphael Graven reached out to his mother and he said, quote, "Hi mom, how are you? Stuck to death with this game. This is going too far. I feel like I'm being held captive with their shitty concept. I'm fed up. I want to get out. The other guy doesn't want to. He's holding me captive." End quote. The translation may not be perfect. I don't speak French. I had to use a program. But there is no version of this where what happened to him can be explained, justified, or brushed off. The official narrative is that he passed away in his sleep, but the complexity is that he had a heart condition, and the things that were done to this man in no conceivable universe did anything other than worsen that heart condition through systematic sleep deprivation, physical battery, and things I don't even really want to describe. This is the part that needs to be focused on. The behavior was known. In late 2024, published by Mediapart, there was an investigation into what was happening, with a subtitle reading, quote, "On the Kick platform, French streamers engage in live physical and psychological humiliation every night to obtain donations from viewers. A well-established business of abuse."
Oh, they jackassed themselves. That's what they did. They jackassed themselves. But on more higher, so they do a bunch of insane, stupid shit, and then people donate. Kind of like the people who did the NPC challenge, where they'll do the stupid NPC thing over and over again, or do some ridiculous shit, and then they'll get money for it. I won't say it's the NPC challenge, but I'm just using it as a form of example.
The primary victims of which are vulnerable people, end quote. But when it comes to a platform as sick and disgusting as Kick.com, there's no end. The official Kick France social media channel, aside from a multitude of promotional tweets about JP, and the challenge streams that he was attacked on, made multiple posts, which they've now deleted, like this one, which says, "This isn't legit. We need to start over right away." But keep in mind, this is in reference to a challenge stream, so they were called, where undeniable and obvious psychological and physical humiliation and torture, that's the real only word for it, was occurring against a vulnerable man. How about this one? In a picture, after he'd been abused, they used an image of him with black paint, presumably all over, to sell Kick merchandise. They deleted this one too, obviously, but what needs to happen next is abundantly clear. Law enforcement needs to rip the platform apart, rip the company to shreds, and figure out if, or how much, rather, these creators were being paid, and then lock them up. Kick routinely offers lucrative contracts to their top broadcasters. It's an integral part of their business model, actually, and this was one of their top French broadcasts. They routinely promoted these broadcasts through official Kick social media, and the pattern of abuse goes back literal years. It is unignorable.
I know he said he's abused, but what was the abuse? What was it like? Were they actually physically putting harm on him on camera? I'm just wondering, because abuse could be really subjective on that. But I understand, like, if I'm pretty sure there was like drawing or something. I'm pretty sure they was doing something physical, and it had to been seen on camera at some point for him to say this.
I've heard rumors, which I can't personally confirm at this point. The Kick
Then
was
if
paying
he
the
can't say it, then probably is as bad as he's making out to be, because if he can't say it exactly.
Where this happened, 2,000
Because this is not happening to a child, so like it must be pretty bad.
euros per hour of streaming, even directly tying subsequent more lucrative contracts to the outcomes of marathon streams. Except prior to his death, one of these marathon streams included extreme physical violence, sleep deprivation, horrible levels of it, and ingestion of toxic products. Thankfully, there is now a judicial investigation in France, which ideally will bring down consequences on the platform, the streamers involved, and anyone else whose negligence contributed to this horrible situation. But this is the kind of thing that happens when you deliberately create a dragnet for the most reprehensible people in the live streaming world and then refuse to adequately moderate. Kick has their little community guidelines document, sure, but many of their most notable creators violate these policies deliberately. They do it because it gets them viewers and money and benefits them in a variety of ways, but the buck stops with the platform itself, because we're not talking about one-off bad eggs or infrequent examples. What we're talking about is a pervasive culture, where the more you push the boundaries of indecency and disrespect, the bigger the paycheck. That makes sense when you remember the fact that Kick is merely a funnel for a crypto gambling establishment. That's probably the demographic they want more of. But there comes a time when the output from a website like this is overwhelmingly negative to a point where the simple truth is that it should be viciously shut down. Kick should not exist. Period.
Oh yeah, you saw that? You saw that?
The platform should be torn down. The streamers should be displaced so that they're forced to find a more reputable location with at least partially superior moderation. Or, if they're so determined to be the bottom of the social barrel, which some of them are, they can learn what's required to access the real places where this type of content typically exists and go stream over there. Make no mistake, I'm not naive to a point where I fail to recognize that the horrors of the online world will always exist in the periphery, but Kick is a demonstration of societal rot, where the periphery is normalized and the rot is being allowed to spread. The defense inevitably used by people who perpetrate this kind of behavior
I'm not gonna lie
is
to
that
you.
we're all adults.
I'm telling you, the next big thing when it comes to censorship, they're gonna look at Kick. They're gonna look at Kick like, see, look, these kids over there are being X, Y, and Z, or kids are being exploited. They're gonna use this. I bet you them collective shout bitches are going to use that somehow, some way, saying that how Kick is a degenerate. What it is, I'm not gonna lie, it is. But like, it's funny because everyone complains about Kick and how degenerate it can get. I know that Twitch is no perfect place and it's extremely like hypocritical and it's nonsense, but like, it has some form of decency where at least it tries its best to do its thing. Even though it can do a lot better than this, I blame you, Tom Clancy. Or is this Tom Clancy? I think his name is Tom Clancy. Irony in that. But Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm not even gonna play. You will find some insane degenerate shit on this fucking platform. I'm surprised they don't like let girls just like get naked on this thing at this point now. But like it is horrible. The people are horrible. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic or play around.
If you don't like it, don't watch. Or he could have left if he wanted to. No one forced him. But this rudimentary juvenile mentality fails to recognize the system of abuse, which is built around profit mechanisms. Convincing someone, for example, that they'd have nothing without you and that the small inconveniences that they inflict on you for the sake of earning much more money are just a necessary evil in a group of friends, that's abuse. And it's also precisely what these people did to him, manipulating Raphael Graven into enduring perpetual torment. There is an entire apparatus of coercion that exists when someone vulnerable has been identified as a key player in mass-produced entertainment, they call it, except that entertainment was and is humiliation. What transpired on Kick, if this group of streamers was actually paid thousands of euros per hour for hundreds of hours in marathons where open torture occurred, if that contract did exist, what transpired on Kick is unforgivable. The platform should be ripped apart, shut down, and dismantled. The answer here is jail time for a bunch of people. In the end, I obviously have very strong feelings about Kick and those that have chosen it for their home. I've had those feelings for quite a while, and this most recent scenario is the tragic culmination of what happens when you cultivate deliberately the most toxic and disgusting people online, propelling them to the front page of the platform where they inevitably spread their filth for mostly an underage audience. Everyone,
And
and I
that's where
don't say this lightly,
that's where the real issue's coming from. That's where the real issue is coming from. The issue is from much older people doing degenerate things, and what's happening is that young people who are super impressionable are looking at this and be like, oh, so that's what I need to do to get famous. I just need to do X, Y, and Z like that person, and I'll be the next Kai Cenat in my head, or the next Speed, or the next, I don't know, whoever IRL streamer that is popular right now. That's what happens. I saw a kid do this on we did a video on it. A kid did this where he was pretending to be like Dorothy, whatever the fuck his name is, and he will run up on this woman, and she was, I think they was having like she was at a restaurant, but they was doing it outside, and he was running past her, took her food and ran off. The lady ran after the kids, and then she confronted them, and instead of the kids like saying sorry, the kid got more aggressive with the woman and ran up on her and was about to attack her, but because he was in a public area where everyone was seeing and pull out their phones, he didn't really do what he wanted to do, but he seemed like he was willing to do it. So it's because the reason why I blame people like Jack Dorothy is because I think he had his friends with him as a form of bodyguard, and they realized that they couldn't just run up on this lady because one, it was a woman, and two, they're in public. So unlike a bodyguard where Jack Dorothy will run into mainly men, I think most cases, and then they'll have like a big dude who's like 6 foot plus, who's just sitting over like standing right over him or just blocking them half the time, who's not really engaging but just standing in front. So that's where that initial issue comes in, because it's a bunch of kids just trying to simulate what Jack Dorothy did.
I do mean it.
It backfired on them, but like that's where that problem comes in. I think they even asked the kids why they do this, and they said my favorite streamer did this.
Everyone in the world would be better off if Kick was deleted from the internet. That's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. A special VPN deal, locals and Patreon, channel memberships, merch, social media, etc., etc.
Again, I'm not going to say that Twitch is a great place, because Twitch is horrible in its own way, but it's not as horrible as Kick. Somehow Kick is more a bit more horrible than TikTok, Twitch to a degree. Let me see, because still Twitch has its problems. I would say a bit, but it's hypocritical. That's where its problem comes from. Like the difference between Twitch and Kick does not monitor itself. Twitch at least pretends that it monitors itself, and then when it gets caught, it then tries to do something, but it doesn't do it the way fully. So, like, for instance, someone can do some bullshit, and then they'll get banned for like 24 hours, and then they'll say, oh, we did our job. But you didn't really do anything. You just banned them for 24 hours. That's like literally a vacation or a day off. When you were supposed to like ban them for like a week and more. Probably even much longer than they should have, but you know. It is what it is. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Never seen these accounts this bad. Can these viewers be saved? But let me see here. What can I find here with this? Just destroyed Disney. Don't care about that. Is it a live stream? What's a live stream? One Piece 5 became a symbol of treason in Indonesia. I'm not feeling that. They will never learn. Nonsense. Ubisoft shields. Okay, you know what? What about Kyle? Is Kyle anything new? No new Kyle. Or Sayo. Kyle. Let me see. Oh, let's go to Reaper. He probably has something I can look at. Where are you? You funny. No, they do not. Well, Johnny's in jail. Jack lost his girlfriend, and I guess he's losing money, but I'm not totally sure.
A fucking awful movie that no one should watch. It's so bad that it made Mufasa is a fucking awful movie that no one should watch.
So this is Reaper. It's called Mufasa. It's a soulless cash grab. This is pretty much the Lion King pre-sequel, I guess, to the Lion King franchise. So
Mufasa is a fucking awful movie that no one should watch. It's so bad that it made me side with the guy who shot Cecil the Lion all those years ago. It's a soulless empty cash grab that does nothing to build upon the Lion King.
What? I want to see Mufasa though. Do you want to? Because like we're okay. You haven't seen it? Do you want to see it? Because I'll switch it to something else. Because if you really want to see it, because I want to ruin it for you. Because if you want to see it, regardless of what he says, because he's gonna go through the whole movie going and ripping this bitch. So like I don't know. Do you really want to see this movie? If so, I'll switch it to something else. I don't mind. Let's see here. I think 1, 2, 3. Alright.
And just shamelessly milks the franchise for nostalgia bait, hoping that a bunch of member berries is enough to entertain the audience rather than giving them a good story with interesting characters. Mufasa sucks ass on every level, and it carries over the same problems that the reboot of The Lion King had, such as the overly realistic animals who are unable to make any sort of facial expression. The voice acting was jarring, especially when you compare it to the original animation, as it's nowhere near as good. It has cringe feminist messaging where all the male lions are depicted as being weak, lazy and incompetent, whilst all the female lionesses do all the real work and the men just need to shut up and listen to them. The writing is piss poor and filled with contrivances, the songs were fucking terrible, and the repeated callbacks to the original Lion King started to become annoying. I'm not exaggerating either, this prequel copies every single iconic moment from the original animation. We have Scar and Mufasa singing about being king, just like Simba and Nala did. Scar grabbing Mufasa by the claws twice. Mufasa and Sarabi singing about being in love. Rafiki showing Mufasa his parents' reflection in the water. And they even have a scene where Mufasa is being taught about the circle of life, although this time it's done by Scar's mother and not his dad, because nearly all the men in this movie are fucking pathetic. This isn't just the writers trying to make a nod to the original movie. No, this is just them shamelessly stealing moments in the hope that the audience transfers their emotional attachments of those scenes onto this piece of shit. This is just a terrible attempt by the writers to try and manipulate the audience into thinking that Mufasa is just as good as the Lion King, when it's not, it's just complete dog shit. So as I said before, a big reason why this movie sucks ass is the inclusion of lots of terrible feminist bullshit. For example, Mufasa grows up with female lions, and because of that, he grows up to be tough and strong. Whereas Scar is raised by men, and so he becomes scared and cowardly just like they are. This is gay and retarded, but so too is most of the movie. Mufasa was fine but boring. Sarabi wasn't as much of a girl boss as I thought she was going to be. Rafiki is now retarded, as all he does is pass off Chinese fortune cookie advice as real wisdom, when it's not, it's fucking retarded. Like how a fish is allowing the group to drink out of its ponds in some shit lesson about harmony. It's a fucking fish, how can it stop anyone from doing anything?
You are stupid.
There's also Kairos the White Lion, who's voiced by Mads Mikkelsen, and he is boring, one-dimensional and stupid. He also has one horrible song which completely ruins his image as an intimidating villain. I don't know about you, but when a villain keeps singing Get Them very softly over and over again, it's pretty hard to take him seriously. Even if I was a kid, I would have thought that he was a pussy. But the biggest problem in Mufasa is how they handled Scar's heel turn. He goes from Mufasa's best friend to wanting to kill him on a...
You should come over here and hear this. Come over here on YouTube and hear this. This dude's ripping a good one in him.
Flip of a dime. He turns into a full-on incel, and because of that, his entire personality completely changes in a matter of moments. Not just him wanting to kill his brother, but his whole demeanour and tone of voice changes as well. In only one scene, he goes from completely normal to Grima Wormtongue. He, just like Kairos, is boring, one-dimensional and stupid, which Scar most certainly was not. Before this failure of an adaptation, Scar was always depicted as a shifty bastard, but he was clever and good at plotting, which is why his scheme worked and he managed to kill Mufasa, whereas this Scar has an IQ of a goldfish, so of course his plot immediately blows up in a...
Let's see, so what is channel about? My channel or what we're listening to? So technically, if you're talking about me, I'm a VTubing anime artist who does video games and stuff like that, and what we're listening to is a dude who's ripping into movies who cuts through the bullshit and literally calls it for what it is, without pissing off YouTube.
His face because he's dumb as fuck. I don't care what anyone says, they are not remotely the same character. Anyway, before I burst a testicle, here is the dog shit plot. It begins with Nala being pregnant with her second child, and so she goes to give birth in a secluded location. Simba is off to join her, but before he goes, he tells Timon and Pumbaa to look after his daughter Kiara. Rafiki shows up later to tell Kiara about the story of Mufasa, and throughout the movie the story will from time to time jump back to the present, usually by having Timon and Pumbaa interrupt his story and fail at being comic relief. Forget being unfunny, these two are fucking unbearable to watch as they ruin every scene they're in. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa has got to be one of the worst casting decisions I've ever seen, because all he does is play himself, which is an annoying dickhead with a terrible laugh. So Rafiki tells Kiara about Mufasa's origin story, where he is no longer king but some random nobody who's travelling along with his parents to find a magical place called Malele, somewhere in Africa that isn't a complete shithole. They stop at a local watering hole where it just starts raining, but within 30 seconds a flood comes from absolutely nowhere and traps Mufasa on the other side of the river. His dad attempts to rescue him, but the flood is so powerful that an elephant, who is also trapped, comes barreling down the riverbed and smashes into the group, launching Mufasa downstream as he's carried away on a log. Some time passes until Taka, the lion who will eventually be known as Scar, finds Mufasa floating nearby and helps him escape from some crocodiles. Scar and his mother take him to their clan where Scar's dad, the king, tells Mufasa to get fucked, but his mother says no, even though he is the fucking king. So to resolve this, they make a wager that if Mufasa
get fucked
can beat Taka in a race, then he gets to stay. Mufasa goes on to win because Taka lets him, but he is forced to live with the females away from the men, who of course are shown to be the fighters, hunters and real alphas of the pack. So yes, of course, Mufasa grows up stronger than Scar because he was raised by women.
What are you, gay?
One day, Mufasa and Scar's mother are out hunting, with Scar watching nearby, and they are attacked by a bunch of white lions. Scar runs away because he was raised to be a pathetic male, whereas Mufasa was taught to fight like a woman, so they manage to fight off and kill one of the lions, and for that, Scar's dad now likes Mufasa. You know, you gotta feel bad for Scar, considering that his mother has completely neglected him in favour of Mufasa, and his dad is nothing more than a limp dick king who won't teach him how to be a man.
What happened? Your balls drop off?
Now it turns out that the lion they killed was the son of Kiros, the main white lion, and for that he wants revenge. So he's coming to personally fuck up Scar's pride himself. In order to protect his bloodline, Scar's dad sends his son away along with Mufasa as his bodyguard, and so they head to Milan, or wherever the fuck the Promised Land is, whilst Kiros murders his entire family. The pair of them travel for a bit until they stumble across Sarabi and Sazu. Scar instantly becomes a massive simp for her, but she senses his beta energy and so is much more attracted to Mufasa instead. After a brief chat,
beta energy.
All four of them decide to team up and head to Malele. On the way, Scar asks Mufasa for advice in how to court Sarabi, and his answer is that he should listen to her because male lions often don't listen to women, and they should because they are amazing. The next character to join the team is Rafiki, who we can see is being kicked out of his tribe by all the male monkeys because they are superstitious about his visions. But do you know who is the one monkey who comes to his defense? That's right, it's another woman, because every male character in this shit prequel are depicted as pathetic, weak bitches.
This is gay. This is really gay.
Now exiled from his clan, Rafiki heads to Mecca or wherever the fuck the Promised Land is, but is interrupted when Mufasa tries to eat him. Although try is a bit of a stretch, as instead of pouncing on him like a lion actually would, Mufasa stands out in the middle of the open saying, "I'm going to eat you." Knowing that he is a bitch that will do nothing, Rafiki ignores him, saying that he is going to the same Promised Land that Mufasa is, and so they decide to let him tag along. They all sing another gay little song until the white supremacist lions show up still wanting revenge. So
the white supremacist lion just walked up on here. He said the white supremacist lion. The only one that is reasonable is Timon's mom. You're not wrong. Oh my god.
Sarabi causes a stampede and gets knocked out in the process, but is saved by Mufasa. He gives Scar the credit, but Sarabi quickly figures out that it was him and now wants to suck Mufasa off. Scar, seeing his queen being taken away by a Chad, turns full incel and flies into a massive simp rage. He starts singing a song about his feelings like a teenage girl and is probably the main reason why Sarabi never liked him, before falling off a cliff and immediately stumbling across the white lions. He offers to betray Mufasa, and Kiros not only trusts him, but actually says that he can join his family even though he has been chasing him all goddamn movie and wanted to wipe out everyone that was involved with the death of his son. Now at this point I thought the story was going to go the Loki route, where Scar was lying to Kyros and was actually planning to lead them into a trap just like Loki did with the Frost Giants. Because earlier on, Scar's dad says to him that a true king uses deception as a weapon, so you would assume that this would be a natural payoff to that setup. But no, Scar betrays Mufasa, his brother from another mother, all because a girl wouldn't give him a wowzer in his trouser. So the group all managed to make
a brother from another mother because a woman gave him wowzers in his trousers. What the fuck?
it to Jerusalem or wherever the fuck this is, but the White Lions, who have been led by Scar, attack the group and reveal Scar's betrayal. Kyros fights Mufasa one-on-one, but falls off a very small cliff and stays there long enough for him to give a speech to all the animals in the valley and get their help in fighting the White Lions. And after one very short, very shit speech, all these animals pledge their lives to helping Mufasa, who is nothing more than a fucking stranger to these people. Or is he? Because they seem to know who he is, despite the fact he's never been here before and doesn't know anyone.
I am so confused!
Anyway, a big fight happens where most of the White Lions are killed by a Deus Ex earthquake that forms Pride Rock. Yes, Pride Rock has an origin story because every fucking thing has to be explained. Kyros fights Mufasa again, but this time for no reason Scar decides to betray Kyros, who goes on to give Scar his namesake by slashing his face. More fighting happens until Mufasa is able to drown Kyros in a lake as Scar helps him come ashore. All the animals then worship Mufasa as their king, despite him hating the idea and wanting everyone to be equal like he's a fucking commie. Afterwards, Scar tells Mufasa to call him Scar from now on as punishment for his betrayal. Mufasa decides to let him live before reuniting with his mother as she somehow managed to survive being crushed by an elephant. His dad, however, died because the writers won't allow Mufasa to have one positive male role model in his life, because he is a good guy, and good guys in modern media have to be surrounded by women to curb their masculinity. It's why they do all the masculine roles and he is just there as a pathetic eunuch. So the film ends once again by copying the original, with Mufasa and Kiara roaring on Pride Rock. Simba returns home and tells Kiara that she has a little brother, and that's it, that was Mufasa.
That was awful, that was just awful.
This was a fucking chore to get through because the movie is boring, unoriginal, soulless, and nothing more than a petty cash grab by Disney to squeeze every last penny it can out of the franchise. Do yourself a favour and do literally anything else than watch Mufasa, as you'll save yourself time, money, and a fucking headache. So yeah, that was my review of Mufasa.
It's a piece of shit.
Through the plot.
I tell you, I swear to God. Oh man, okay, so here says here is Snow White is worse than AIDS. By Reaper. His name is Reaper for those who don't know. He has 96.9 thousand subscribers. He does a great job breaking it down and being straight to the point.
So I just finished the live action remake of Snow White and all I can think is why? Why the fuck did I waste an hour and a half of my life watching this horrendous movie? I mean, who on earth would want to watch Rachel Zegler's smug face, Gal Gadot's complete inability to act, and those god-fucking awful CGI dwarves that are running around all over the place? Snow White is yet another soulless cash grab churned out by Disney in order to squeeze every last ounce of money that they can from the audience, even if by doing so that ends up destroying a bunch of franchises in the process. Disney simply doesn't care anymore and is nothing but a company full of greedy fucks who have lost any of the creativity that they once had and is now perfectly fine with destroying the stories that built the company in the first place. I mean, seriously, who the fuck is this movie supposed to be for exactly, as no one seems to be happy with it? Fans of the original Disney movie hate it because it bastardizes what they liked about the animated movie, and the progressives who love the fact that Snow White is now brown are embarrassed by the sheer hatred that this movie is receiving. They know that it is so deeply unpopular that they're not even trying to defend it, and are now distancing themselves as far away from it as they possibly can. And if all of that wasn't bad enough, Snow White has Rachel Zegler as the star,
Hey, Bob.
and she has done everything she possibly could to come across like a spoilt, entitled arsehole who has also managed to single-handedly destroy the entire marketing for this movie. Honestly, how do you grow up to be that much of a bitch? Was she never hit as a child? Did no one ever tell her no and not give her the smack that she so desperately needs? And how does someone who has been in nothing but flops have the undeserved arrogance that she has? I know that she has had to do a lot of things to get into the Hollywood business at such a young age, things that a princess like Snow White should never do. Now, I won't get into the specifics of what she did, but all I can say is that it involved a couch, a camera, and some Jewish producers.
You want to be a star, don't you? And take it off!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Couch. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's nice.
The problem, however, is that Rachel Zegler never learned the most important lesson of Hollywood, which is that opening your mouth may get you some roles, but knowing when to shut it is what lets you keep them. Say what you want about
Real quick, I saw your message, Bob. We'll handle that issue that you brought to me. I'll figure out how to fix that, so don't worry, I got you, bro.
Zendaya, like how she is the worst part of every movie that she's in, but that girl knows when to shut the fuck up, and it's because of that she has
she knows when to
been
shut
allowed
the
to
fuck up.
continue. Knowing when to shut it is what lets you keep them. Say what you want about Zendaya, like how she is the worst part of every movie that she's in, but that girl knows when to shut the fuck up, and it's because of that she has been allowed to continue working and will go on to ruin Christopher Nolan's new movie. Whilst Rachel Zegler, who is far more talented than Zendaya, is on her way out and is about to become the new Brie Larson. But as bad as Rachel Zegler is as Snow White, Gal Gadot is somehow even worse as the evil queen. I mean, I know she's hot, but the fucking woman cannot act nor sing to save her life. She is a plank of wood who has been terribly miscasted, since the role of the evil queen requires far more gravitas than she can possibly give. It doesn't help either that she has some dogshit dialogue to work with, as repeatedly she will spout off a bunch of terrible analogies that end up making no fucking sense, and that's because the script that she is working with is retarded. Lastly, we have the third main character, who used to be Prince Charming until Disney found that problematic. So instead of Prince Charming, we now have a thief called Jonathan as his replacement. An intentional
You're not wrong. I really didn't find her all that attractive. Like, I guess she's conventionally attractive, but she's not that attractive to me, honestly. I think people bigs this up because of the whole. I think it's just because of the Wonder Woman outfit. That's it.
change made by the writers, because his lowest
And the accent too. So I think that was the two things. It's just nostalgia bait at that point.
social status makes him less important than Snow White, as when they finally get together by the end of the movie, she gets to be the queen and he her consort, not king. She is the one who is in charge of the kingdom, not Jonathan. That is the only reason why they have made such an unnecessary change, since functionally Jonathan is no different from Prince Charming, as they both end up having the same exact payoff in both movies. Jonathan is also a Robin Hood type of character, except he steals from everyone and only gives to himself. A bad boy in a sense, which of course Snow White absolutely loves because she is a woman and wants to change him.
Women.
He even has a band of merry men, except they are neither merry nor are they mostly men, so I guess you could call them his merry band of people from multiple ethnic backgrounds and disabilities. His romance with Snow White is also rushed as well, and it needed more time to develop, but unfortunately it wasn't able to, since the movie wastes most of its screen time introducing a bunch of new songs, and each and every single one of them is fucking terrible.
I don't think so.
They
I
are
don't think nothing was actually wrong with you. I think everyone kind of thought the same. Like, oh, Gala Dotson, Fast and Furious. I thought this was gonna be fun, and then you kind of feel like she can't act, bro. Like she looks good for like Wonder Woman, but other than that, when you go past that part, I'm like, she doesn't really bring anything to the table.
So mind-numbingly dull that they actually make you want to commit seppuku rather than listen to another irritating verse. I also wanted to point out that Snow White is a German tale. Her name comes from her skin being as white as snow, and all the architecture and clothing is of European design. So naturally you would think that the people in a European tale would look like they come from Europe. Well, unfortunately this is woke Hollywood, and so they have chosen to make this place stupidly diverse. And that's because...
Yeah, that's really stupid. It's incredibly stupid. Like that. I'm sorry. I understand that diversity is kind of cool for most people, but when we're trying to be accurate based on where the person's coming from, like, it's stupid. This is dumb. It's really stupid. They did the same thing with fucking Beauty and the Beast, I think.
Because every European story, fiction or none, has to be subverted with dog shit modern politics that paint a false picture as to what Europe is actually like. This is done by design, since we never saw any diversity amongst the Chinese in Mulan or the Wakandans in Black Panther. They only do this to white people because this is a subversive piece of propaganda that's meant to target impressionable children. They want to trick them into thinking that white people have no culture when that sure as shit isn't the case. Finally, before I go through the plot, I have to talk about the 7 man-made horrors, which are the not dwarves. So, because Peter Dinklage threw a temper tantrum about dwarves being in Snow White...
The diversity on that was not that big of a deal because it was just a limited amount of characters, but when they show like a bunch of the Snow White thing when Belle's passing into town, and then the same thing with this movie. You're like, it's a lot of black people in these fucking European like 16th century like areas and just over here being merchants and stuff. I'm like, and then they're wearing like a bunch of European clothing and stuff. Is like, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
For some reason, Disney in their infinite wisdom decided to overreact and pulled up the tiny stepladder that other dwarven actors could have.
Not a diverse cast. We're talking about the part. Are you talking about? You're not talking about the anime. I'm talking about the remake. For the remake, when Belle walks through the town and they do that whole singing segment, there's a lot of culturally diverse people that's in there. It's kind of insane. And then there was a bunch of people, I think they're diverse in the scene with what's his name? Not Belmont. What the fuck his name is? The villain, the dude with the black hair. I forgot his name. And it was a bunch of like different races of people in there, from Chinese, from Asian, Black, Native American, Hispanic, white. It's like, yeah, this is a Disney movie. you just think, you know what? It's just a fucking Disney movie. But we really think of it, if you're trying to be accurate as fuck, it's just like, like it's weird how we need to have Lilo, Little Mermaid, and what do you call it? Mulan to be accurate as hell. But for some odd reason, when it comes to the European stories, they all have to be diverse by default. Like, I'm not even gonna be surprised if fucking Hercules is gonna have a bunch of like Roman black people in there just running around. Even though in the movie they did have like those Roman singing, or Greek. I'm saying Roman. I mean Greek. Greek singing women. I'm pretty sure Lizzo's gonna be part of that shit. No doubt. No doubt. I know she's gonna be part of that shit. I'll be surprised if they do not ask Lizzo to be part of one of the singing ladies in the fucking Hercules remake.
Used to get 7 paid roles in this movie, and as a replacement they decided to pay a fortune to animate these CGI abominations that are ugly as fuck and are clearly on an obvious green screen, rather than have 7 actors who would actually feel like they are in the same room as Rachel Zegler, giving her someone to bounce off and would have actually breathed some life into these characters. It would have been far better than what we actually got, which was to stare at these hideous monstrosities for most of the movie. What's funny is that one of the members of the merry people from diverse ethnic backgrounds and disabilities is in fact a dwarf. So if Disney is fine with dwarves being in the movie, then why didn't they just cast the 7 as real people?
Why? I tell you why. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
But the worst thing about the not dwarves is that
use Lizzo and Ursula now, while and now. Yeah, I know it. I 100% agree.
with the inclusion of the diverse merry people, they have absolutely no reason to exist in the story, since they no longer kill the evil queen after Snow White falls into a coma. In fact, they do nothing all movie except disgust the audience with their faces, effectively making them nothing more than very expensive pieces of furniture.
What is this shit?
Anyway, here's the dumbass plot. It starts off with a young Snow White and her parents throwing feasts in the kingdom for all the peasants, but the good times quickly come to an end when the queen suddenly dies, probably from embarrassment for being in this shit. So the king decides to remarry Gal Gadot because he is not willing to go the rest of his life without getting his dick sucked. But unfortunately for him, she convinces the king to go to war and he ends up disappearing. Now the new queen, she decides to impoverish her subjects by stealing all of their shit and is just in general behaving like a complete cunt. Fast forward several years until Snow White is fully grown up, and one day she discovers a thief in her castle called Jonathan who is stealing a bunch of potatoes. And even though he has managed to get inside the royal palace, he's not trying to steal jewellery or gold or anything of value. No, he's here pointlessly risking his life in order to steal some fucking potatoes, which he doesn't even need. He eventually gets caught, and so, as punishment, the queen decides to tie him with a very loose piece of rope to the palace gate, so that...
So you said, just call the movie fantastic movie. Because just like scary movie, diverse comes absolutely nowhere. No, but that's the thing about diversity back then. Diversity back then wasn't forced. It was not expected. It was just there because it was used in an organic way. So like movies like Scary Movie or like Hercules or fucking like Lilo and Stitch or like let me use what's another example? What's another movie I can think of? Oh shit, I'm not gonna use Tarzan. That's not a good example. Fuck. Now you use Little Mermaid. Let me use an example. Meet the Spartans. Oh, Meet the Meet the Spartans. Wait, isn't that scary movie ripoff? Oh, not ripoff, but like it was supposed to make fun of like 300 and shit. I think. Like all the movies from the early 2000s, 90s, all the way to 2010s, like early 2010s was at their best because people was not worried about race. They was just looking at the movie for what it was, if it was bad or not, based on writing. That's it. But now, because these checkboxes are forced upon you, you can't not see it, right? So that's where that issue comes in, because I believe diversity was more present when it was not forced. It just didn't feel like it feels more diverse back then than it was now. It just feels like it's kind of like there because we have to acknowledge it, and because you have to acknowledge it all the time, therefore it doesn't feel genuine, it feels forced.
That everyone can watch him starve to death. It doesn't matter, as Jonathan is left unguarded, which allows Snow White to come over and free him. Annoyed by her treachery, the evil queen commands the huntsman to murder Snow White and to cut out her heart and to give it back to her in this white chest. The very next scene is the huntsman and Snow White apple picking miles away from the city, and when the moment comes for the huntsman to kill her, he, quite like a lot of guys, can't perform on cue. So instead, he tells Snow White to run away as the evil queen wants to kill her, and he himself can't quite make his mind up whether or not he is going to stab her. Eventually, she makes her way through Fangorn forests where she discovers the home of the Not Dwarves. And even though she is trying to run as far away as she possibly can from the kingdom, the very first place she discovers, she immediately goes to sleep at.
Are you fucking stupid?
The not dwarves then go home and discover that Snow White is squatting in their home, but after a small conversation they agree that Snow White can stay in their home under their protection, and in exchange for their gracious hospitality, Snow White makes them clean up their own mess as she sings a gay little song and pretends to wear
a harsh review of what a movie is. So.
Fucking bitch.
Eventually, she leaves the dwarves to go and find Jonathan because he may know where her dad is. Luckily for her, and in a rather contrived manner, she immediately bumps into the one person she happens to be looking for 5 seconds after leaving the dwarves' house.
How very convenient.
Anyway, it's here where we learn that Jonathan is a bandit along with his merry people who steal from the Queen and pretty much anyone else. Now knowing that Jonathan is incredibly selfish, rude and mean,
I'm gonna say never because she said that this first Snow White gave her nightmares or some shit like that, so I wouldn't think she would read Goldilocks given that.
Snow White is immediately enamored with him because of course she is. She's a woman.
The woman have a smaller brain than a man.
This incredibly boring scene between the two of them is thankfully interrupted when the Queen's men come to kill Snow White, but she manages to girl boss her way out of the situation by stealing their only horse and tricking the guards with a decoy as she saves everyone. This entire scene is pointless and is only here to demonstrate that, just like with every other Disney princess, Snow White ain't no damsel in distress, which at this point is an incredibly played out and boring trope that needed to die yesterday. Anyway, Jonathan ends up being pegged by a crossbow, so Snow White takes the bandits back to the Not Dwarves place for healing.
I don't give a fuck.
And afterwards, Snow White and Jonathan sing a gay little song about being in love, which thankfully is interrupted by more guards trying to find the place. So Jonathan decides to lead them away only to be captured himself when he retardedly stands on a trap. He is then taken to the palace to be interrogated by the Queen, who very quickly discovers where Snow White is. The next day, the Not Dwarves go off to work as the evil Queen shows up in disguise to tell Snow White that Jonathan has been captured. But get this, the Queen's master plan in order to make Snow White bite the apple is to say, "Wait a minute, Snow White, I know that you're in sort of a rush to save your boyfriend from the executioner's axe, but you're going to burn up a lot of calories on the way, so here's a very suspicious apple that you should eat in case you're hungry."
Christ, who wrote this?
Now this may surprise you, but the apple she ate from the incredibly suspicious stranger ended up having roofies in it, which puts Snow White.
If you're wondering what we're doing, I'm doing artwork, working on this thing for Mora, and then for my mod, and then we're listening to this dude do a review on how horrible these movies truly are.
Into a deathly sleep.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, she doesn't stay dead for long, as Jonathan, who managed to break free from the dungeon simply by ripping apart the solid iron chains that kept him bound, shows up to save her.
What the fuck am I watching?
Yep, you heard that right. Both he and the huntsman are somehow able to tear apart solid iron with their bare hands. And as if my opinion of this movie couldn't possibly sink any lower, I thought that maybe, just maybe, Jonathan would use his thief skills in order to pick the lock. But no, none of that happens. And unless those iron chains were made in China, the pair of them somehow managed to gain superhuman strength, but only for the scene. So you know what happens next. Jonathan escapes, finds Snow White unconscious before he then kisses her, which undoes the curse. Snow White then goes back to the kingdom to regain her throne, and her genius plan to do all this is to simply just walk into the city and hopefully rally everyone around her to her cause, as she thinks that all the citizens will remember who she is, even though at the beginning of the movie when she met Jonathan for the first time and he didn't recognise her, he said specifically that no one knows what Snow White looks like as she has faded from everyone's memory. That's right, her entire plan hinges on the audience forgetting what has already been established at the start of the movie, making this whole ending dumb as fuck. If that wasn't bad
Oh, that's
enough,
dumb.
the second part of her plan also involves telling the Queen's guards, who have already tried to kill her several times and have been abusing their fellow citizens by carrying out the Queen's heavy taxation policy, to just stop being evil. And would you believe it, this idiotic plan of hers ends up working.
Oh, that real fucking original.
The evil queen, now befuddled by how stupid everyone is, tries to stab Snow White with a crystal dagger, but is...
Yes, they did make a Disney movie about the Princess and the Frog, and they still will not touch that bitch. They will not touch Princess Tiana at all. They just won't. They keep saying first black anything, black princess or some stupid shit, and they never use her. I wonder why. Because they know in the back of their head, if we take someone who's already popular and just diversify them, therefore, it will actually make some money. So, like, we'll take, like, Ariel. If you take, like, Ariel, Mulan, let me see, the Rapunzel or any of them, and just make them black. So what they're literally saying to you, the character who is black, who's originally was black, isn't worthy enough to carry their own movie. So we need to take a white or non-white person or a non-black person that's already established and make them into a diverse individual, probably black, and then say, hey, look, we're putting diversity in it. So you're going to ignore the one black woman over there in the corner for the one white woman and turn black. Are you crazy? Like, what the fuck? At this point, you can take Princess Tiana, turn her white, and I don't think it won't notice. That's how horrible that is. See how horrible these people are? That is stupid as fuck. They have a black princess, they just won't use her. Don't know why. Strange. When's last time this bitch had even a movie sequel? Every movie. Well, it made her brown, but Hispanic, but close enough. No, they can't make her black. No, they can't. But they won't at the same time. It's just like it's wild. Let me see. I need to see Princess Frog, Tiana's Peak, Teach. Have you seen Who Wants to Play New Spider-Man? Oh yes, we're gonna do that next. That's next after this one. I already know we'll see about that. It is really wild. They just ignore this woman's existence. I want to put it past them if they take the Brave girl princess, the one with the Irish accent from the Brave movie, and turn her into a black woman for like no fucking reason. Somehow rewrite history of an Irish woman into a black woman somehow in Ireland somehow. I wouldn't put it past them. Gotcha. But we'll run that through. I'll put my well, if they want that's what, because what they'll do is they'll take someone who is genuinely ginger and make them black for some reason. Hollywood is known for doing this. They'll take a literally red-haired ginger individual who happens to be white, most likely white, and then they'll turn him black for like no fucking reason. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It's weird as hell. Every redhead individual has been turned into a diverse person, or usually a black person. I don't know why. It's very weird.
Is only stopped when somehow a midget with a crossbow gets on top of the palace walls and shoots the dagger out of her hand. So because the script is terrible, Gal Gadot goes on to throw a bitch fit and grabs a metal object before then asking the magic mirror who's the fairest of them all. And it's here where the entire movie falls apart. The magic mirror ends up saying what we already know, that while yes, the evil queen is far more attractive than Snow White, she is more beautiful on the inside. This, of course, is the writers admitting what we already know, which is that Gal Gadot is way more attractive than Rachel Zegler. But besides that, why would the evil queen care about her inner beauty? She's the evil fucking queen, it's in her name. She doesn't care about being fair on the inside, only on the out, and the magic mirror has already given her what she wanted, which is to be the most beautiful woman in the world. So what Gal Gadot chooses to do next makes absolutely no sense. For reasons I simply cannot understand, after being told exactly what she's always wanted to hear, Gal Gadot ends up smashing the magic mirror.
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
This then causes her to be turned into mold or whatever, before then being sucked into the Mirrorverse. They have done this because Disney wants to see if this movie will be a success, and if it is, then they have a bullshit excuse to bring Gal Gadot back through retarded magic. But who gives a shit anyway, because none of this matters, as it looks like this movie is going to be a gigantic bomb. So with the Queen gone, Snow White doesn't free the peasants, she simply puts them under new management, and her first act as tyrant is to force everyone to dance whilst wearing ridiculous white clothing. And some people actually think that this is a happy ending. Fuck me, was this movie a chore to get through. It was boring, bland, bloated, badly acted, and full of new original songs, with each one somehow being worse than the last. This movie is going to be forgotten about in less than a week, and it deserves to be, since this soulless cash grab is just a giant waste of time and a god fucking awful movie. Anyway, with all that said, that was Snow White.
It's a piece of shit.
The Little Mermaid.
Oh god, okay. So let's get to it. We all... Let's see. You're not wrong. Hold on. Let's put it here. Let me put it up, so I'm getting it up. Don't worry, guys. Let's see Spider-Man. Okay, video. I want to see this one. Oh. Okay. Did you? Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna answer that question. For me, it was the fact that they claimed themselves trying to be faithful to the original and the animation, and it was if he shits on this, I'm gonna fuck him up. Let me see. I finally have the set complete. That's great, boy. I'm happy for you, bro. Let me see. Someone who is unbiased was Little Mermaid Bat. Did he do that? If you want me to do a video, we can do a video after this one. We can watch the video that he did of Little Mermaid if you want to see that one too. You want to see after long years of saving up from struggles and poop without nut. I got you. Okay, just saw an ad of Nikkei is doing a collab with Resident Evil already. Oh god, if their Nikkei is doing anything with anyone, you know that the blue hairs are gonna get mad. They're gonna say, "Oh, they're pushing sex again. They're pushing all the attractive females. This is gonna make white supremacy stronger." Shut the fuck up. Like, they're pretty women. I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna push. Someone wearing an outfit or some shit. Gotcha. Alright, so for those who don't know, the next video we're gonna do is called Bella Ramsey is cooked for suggesting that she'll be the next Spider-Man. Oh god, Jesus fucking. This is from Atreus? Okay, so it's like 18,000 subscribers, so we're gonna hear what he has to say. Hold on, let me get it. We're up here. So I do it right. There we go. We're up here. Sorry, you guys can't see it. I'll pull it up. Give me 1 second. Right? So, wait, hold on. For those who are watching on Twitch, hold on, I got you. Fuck. Yeah, let's go.
one of the most beloved characters on the planet is Spider-Man. As a matter of fact, Spider-Man is probably up there with Pokemon and Hello Kitty and probably above definitely above Harry Potter and stuff like that. Spider-Man is one of the most, Batman, Superman, it's one of the most beloved characters in IP history. And it's one of those sacred
I'm not gonna lie, I believe that
characters.
Spider-Man is the most iconic superhero of all time. I think he's up there. He's up there with Batman and Superman, but I think out of the three, I believe the most popular one out of all three of them is probably Spider-Man. I think it's, in my head, it's Spider-Man from Marvel, Batman from DC, and also Superman from DC. I think these are the three top westernmost superheroes that are the most popular, and I think right under Superman is probably Wolverine, and then anyone else after that. I think those are the top like three, and then Wonder Woman is like probably like 5 or 6 or so, right under Wolverine, because she's just the most iconic based on just her just look and everything. But if just to be honest, I think the most popular superhero of all time amongst all of them is Spider-Man, bar none, because he has more relatability than probably Batman and Superman. Because he's just a kid, right, from New York, from Queens. So like anyone who's like in the inner cities, or even if you're not inner cities, you can relate to Peter to a degree, one way or another. And plus the whole Spider-Verse thing, that's also a thing on its own. But like honestly, in my literal opinion, I think of all superheroes, the most iconic one, more than Superman and Batman, is literally Spider-Man. I'm just saying.
That you can't mess with it all. You can't try to do something different with the character, try to turn him into a woman, or of course there are like female versions of Spider-Man, but they're like different people. They're not, you can't take Peter Parker and try to turn him, hey yo, let's make Peter Parker gay, or let's turn Peter
that's
Parker
never
into
gonna
a
work.
woman,
That shit, I don't know why people think that shit works. Like, this is why Miles Morales works on his own, because he's not a he's a, I guess you can say he's a Peter variant, or, well, given now how he's written, he's more of a sidekick than a variant. Let's just call it for what it is. He's more of a sidekick, but he's his own person, right? Same thing with Gwen Stacy. She's a, I guess you can say she's more of a Peter variant, because like she's a Peter variant most likely than Miles, but she's her own thing, right? And this is why I don't really run with the idea that Miles is Spider-Man. He runs with the Spider-Man moniker and all that stuff. But let's be honest, when I say Spider-Man, the first person that pops up in your head isn't Miles Morales, unless I say Miles Morales, because what do you call it? I think what's the Sucker Punch? Uh, the latest Spider-Man game. See, but this is the thing. This is the thing when they come with different names of each one. Because if I say Scarlet Spider, you know who I'm talking about. If I say, Spider-Man, if I say Spider Girl, like if you say Spider Girl or you say Spider Woman, or if I say, Scarlet Spider, or if I say fucking Miles Morales, you know who I'm referring to. If I say Spider-Man, most people will instantly think Peter Parker. There are some people who will say Miles in their head because they probably grew up with him to a degree. It does make sense. But majority of most people from all the way from, I think Spider-Man was debuted in the 60s or in the 50s, somewhere in the late 50s, early 60s, I believe. And then from the 60s all the way to this point, majority of people who are familiar with that name is usually thinking Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to be in fucking comics to know this, right? So like, when I'm describing someone like Spider-Man, when I say this, you think Peter. When I say Miles Morales, you know who I'm referring to. When I say Gwen, Spider-Gwen, you know who I'm referring to. You know what I'm saying? That's what, because remember, when you say Spider-Man, it's a default understanding that we're talking about Peter Parker. It's because, like, that's the thing for me. Like, once you say Miles Morales, I know who you're referring to. Like, I know he goes by different names. Some people say Spinner. Some people say some other names that they kind of co-name him to be. But most people, if you're referring to anything, they just say Miles Morales. It's just because when I say Peter Parker, yeah, you once I say Peter Parker, you think Spider-Man. When I say Spider-Man, you think Peter Parker. But when I say Miles Morales, you know who I'm referring to. You know what I'm saying? I think the latest Spider-Man animation has many of the characters like Harry Osborn race swap. Yeah, they do. The latest one, I think, yeah, Osborn and his son are both race swap to be black or so.
You know what I'm saying? Let's make them black. You can't do anything like that because not only will you have American citizens rioting, but the world will riot with you. Peter Parker is who he is for a reason, and we want it to stay that way. This is why one of the many reasons why, despite
but you don't have to say Black Spider-Man. If you say Miles Morales, you don't think Peter Parker at all. Given that his debut back in the 2010s and then like I think not even early 2010s. I think it was like late 2000s, early 2010s, and then like the video games just kind of like supplement this alongside with the animation movies that came out. So like from that point, you don't even have to say Black Spider-Man. You just say Miles Morales. So
MCU was there. They never touched Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? They might have touched characters around him, but they'll never touch Peter Parker. And so, on the contrary, one of the most hated individuals in Hollywood is Bella Ramsey. Okay, Bella Ramsey is one of those industry plant actresses who gets put in everything and nobody likes it. Along with, you know, what's his name?
Oh, that's what you mean.
Pablo.
My bad. So you meant the. I see what you did there. You got me on that one. Okay, Borg, you can go rest, bro. I see what you did there. You got me. I see you. But yeah, I get what you mean when you say Black Spider-Man now. You still have Black Venom suit Spider-Man. Okay.
What's the nigga's name? The nigga who played, I keep forgetting. Whatever. He's irrelevant. The point is, you know it's an industry plant actor or actress when none of their movies or shows ever do amazingly well, but they continuously get put in everything, right? I mean, Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a real fucking problem with that, where people will be like in movies and they're more majority in bomb-like movies or movies you never fucking hear about that has not break more than $1 million, but they somehow keep getting work. They somehow keep getting roles. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that if you're in a shit movie or you've been in some shitty movies, you should be blacklisted. I'm not saying that. I think that's fucked up. I'm talking about every time you're associated to a movie that's horrible, that will follow you, right? Because either you're probably the reason why the movie bombed to a degree, not completely, but a good part of it. Maybe your acting's horrible or something like that. Maybe you have a shitty agent or something who keeps putting you in movies that doesn't really, does well. Maybe you need a new agent. Maybe that might be the reason. But like, for you to be part of every shitty movie that keeps coming out and somehow gets roles and then gets into like major Hollywood roles, and it shows sometimes usually tells how horrible the individual is, not as a person, but like their acting chops. It's just like, why did this person get picked for this? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you start reasoning, oh, you're an industry plant. For some odd reason, you're planted here for some odd reason. You're here for a reason. Maybe to push an agenda. Maybe you're saying all the right things and that's it. Or maybe you look a specific way, as Bella Ramsey's look different from all of us. Can't say. But then again, it's like, that's probably a reason, because I noticed they did this with what was it? The Witcher, where the director or the people director of season like 2 or 1, I think it was 2, they said that they made it their mission to make the women look to challenge beauty norms. What they literally said outright in your face is saying, we're going to take very unattractive women and put them in roles of attractive women. But we're just saying in a way that we're challenging against beauty standards, when you're really saying these bitches are ugly, we're putting them in these roles. It is what it is. You can't do any. Fuck you. I hope you like my movie or my show. And if you don't like it, you're a bigot and you hate women. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself with a stick. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. That is super cope. What the hell? Stop him! The movies had KDA and ELO system. We wouldn't get 90% of trash we have. Not true. I don't know. I just like this is wild. It's crazy. I can't.
Did well, but she was like a side of a side of a side character. Like, let's stop, okay? The Last of Us did well season 1, but it's been garbage ever since. You know what I'm saying?
No, it didn't do well. Like, okay, we had Reaper go through the whole season 1 and 2 so far. It didn't do well. What happened was it had member berries and people who were curious about the show because they didn't play the games, and people who played the games because they wanted to like probably was hoping that it was good, but they realized it wasn't, so they hate watched it to point out every problematic thing that was wrong with it, especially with Joel. We all know why they fucked Joel hard. One way, like even more harder than the video games. I'm not talking about Armstrong Abbey's like fucking him up. I'm talking about just his whole character. They totally just assassinated this man completely for what he stand for as a character. He was supposed to bring brute masculinity. He was supposed to bring that grittiness. He was supposed to bring that stoicism. Didn't do that. They bitchified him, or well, let me say pussification. They pussyified him completely. Made him talk about his feelings, crying like a bitch. He's getting yelled at from Ellie, who plays by Bella Ramsey's, being told what to do. He has no real authority over this bitch. She does whatever she wants, and she's more murderous than him. Couldn't do it. Too much hiding. Too much hiding. Well, it is a post-apocalyptic world with zombies, so you have to hide somewhere, you know. Not to mention, Yennefer herself considered herself supernaturally beautiful, in which you're right. They made all the women bitches. Bitches. They made them ugly bitches. It's wild. It is wild to me. Like that's crazy to me. Like, bro, like you guys can't just like do you guys hate money? Like, do you hate money? Like, I understand the blue hairs exist, but they have no power if you don't give it to them. Put some fucking nice bitches in these roles who can act, and you will make some fucking money. It's like you don't want to print money. You want to be broke? It's like, oh my god, dude. Like, listen. As much as I hate the fact that I always have to draw anime girls to bring people in, sex sells, right? And then when I draw the anime girls, I can bring some dudes in. I can bring some Luffy's in. I can bring some Venom in, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman in, just to shoehorn them in a little bit because I want to bring those characters in sometimes. But I know the bitches is what brings the people to the forefront. It is what it is. It's like this. If you have a restaurant, right? Would you not have attractive women in the front to bring in dudes and women? Because remember, women love attractive women too. They just don't want to outright say it because it puts them on a put their shit on the pedestal, knowing that they're fucking ugly. But like, hey, it is what it is, right? If you bring a beautiful woman or beautiful women and put them in the front as a cash register or a waiter, you're more likely to get a positive response 9 times out of 10 than just putting a dude. Now, you can put an attractive dude in front, but let's be honest, an attractive dude does not pull as much people as much of a woman can. Like a dude who's chiseled, very buff, everything can bring people into the forefront. Mostly women, some gay men probably. But then again, if you put a pretty woman who don't need to be all that like glammed up, or she does a little bit of her makeup, you'd be surprised how many dudes and women she'll pull in the front. It's fucking true. You'd be surprised. And remember, out of both genders, the biggest spenders between the two is women. I'm dead serious. If you put a woman in front, you'd be surprised how many people you will actually bring to your establishment.
Oh, nobody likes her. That's all you know. It's an industry plant character when they can't sell anything at the box office, but they keep getting put in everything. Okay, and so it is absolutely hilarious that she's getting cooked again. She is always getting cooked on it, and I don't understand how her team keeps her. Like I would never tell her to get in front of a mic again. I would tell her just go on set, do your job, and get off. Don't post nothing. Don't get on Instagram. Don't get on Facebook because this girl gets cooked every single time she shows her face on the internet. And for the latest reason, she had the audacity to come out and say she could play Spider-Man. Let me let y'all get a good little gobble out of this real quick.
I honestly believe that if you're a superstar or some type of movie actor who has roles, deals, sponsorships, contracts and shit, and you're doing a major movie role like Disney or something like that, or for Sony, I think they should write in a contract you are not allowed to bring up your political opinions. You're not supposed to bring up your religious opinions. You're supposed to be extremely ambiguous as fuck. You're supposed to not bring up anything. If any reporter brings up anything on the fact that you need to talk, they ask you about what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on outside of what your job is, or whatever it is, you can say, I received that question. I'm not going to answer that. Can we move on to the next one? I don't think anyone should be forced to answer a fucking question that has nothing to do with my job, right? I don't think that makes sense. I don't think it's right for these reporters to walk up to any of these celebrities who are usually batshit crazy and ask them anything about Middle East stuff, political stuff, presidential shit, anything of the norm, or anything socially going on right now. I think they should ask anything that has to do with their fucking movie or their TV show, and that's it. Do not ask them any stupid ass question about, how you feel about XYZ. Nope, don't do that, because once you do that, you are tanking my career. Fuck you. I'm not answering that. If you're not asking me about my movie or whatever case may be, do not interview me. Do not ask me anything. Even if we're on the red carpet, do not ask me shit, or I'm suing the shit out of you. I'm going to call it harassment. Don't harass me. Straight up, I think they did that same shit with way back when in 2010 with Robert Downey Jr. when he was talking about his Iron Man movie, right? And then when they was asking about his drug use and stuff and his father, he's like, whoa, hold up, fuck, I don't know what you're doing, dude, but we're here to talk about my movie. I don't know why you're asking about my past. That's what I agreed to this interview. I understand you may have questions about my past, and that's fine, but this is not what this interview about. If you're not asking me about this fucking movie, I'm getting the fuck up. And as soon as he started even going more further with the questions about his drug use, he got the fuck up and left. He's right. I don't think it makes any sense for you to be answering any questions that has nothing to do with your occupation. Fuck you.
Spider-Man.
Okay, make that pitch right now to Tom Holland. You're out, you're in.
Tom Holland did a great job, though. So I don't know. Maybe they do need to make a new one for me.
I can see it. Come on, slinging those webs.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that your favorite superhero?
You know what? Spider-Man was the one with Andrew Garfield. Are there several with him? One of them with him was the first time I'd ever watched a Marvel film, and that was like 3 months ago was the first time that I'd ever seen a Marvel film. And it was
she has never what?
And
she's
incredible.
The first Marvel's film she's seen was Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. Is that what you're saying? What the fuck? Where have you been? Wait. How do you want to play a Spider-Man character when you only watch one movie? Shouldn't you, like, if you're that, like, I'm not saying go read the comics and know everything about Spider-Man and know what toenail he has. I'm not asking that. I'm saying if you're gonna want to be playing this character per se, as you claim, wouldn't it make sense on your behalf to like look at these movies, like look at Tobey Maguire, study that, look at I don't know, the way she's responding sounds like she's being more genuine, because I don't think she will bullshit on that. I don't think anyone will bullshit saying I saw Avengers. Especially how to watch Avengers. Okay, you got me there. Splitter man. But like, oh shit. I don't know. I don't think anyone will bullshit on that. She's having a hard time even remembering which one is Spider-Man, or at least the movie. For her not to know or bring up at least the Avengers, which he was in to a degree, both Endgame and Civil War, that just proves to me that she is being genuine, that she has not watched it. At least she's being honest. Yeah, send it to me. So, like, at least she's being honest, because to a degree, some of these actresses and some actors will pretend like they know what they're talking about, but don't know god shit, because they probably know, like, one thing in passing, or remember, like, one movie and that's it, and take that as, like, the holy grail of the answers of all things, when there's different variants and different like new, Elseworlds and different things about the character that tends to stick or be totally like retcon to a degree. So some of these actors and actresses will pretend like they know what they're talking about, or pretend that they watch or are seen or even read these comic books or whatever the case may be. So this interaction, I'm not gonna even be mad at her. She's being more genuine in her, based on her mannerisms, her gestures and everything. You can tell that she's having a hard time remembering or even knowing what she's talking about. So she's being genuine in her response and saying that this is her first time seeing a Marvel film or any type of superhero film. At least she's being honest on that. But the problem I'm having is that she says she can play this character when she knows little to nothing of this character based on just one movie. That is dumb. I wouldn't say, listen, if I was in her position and someone asked me this, I was like, well, I like Spider-Man and I have seen only one Marvel film, but I don't know much about the character. I think it'd be best before even if I was cast as like a female variant of Spider-Man, I think I would put more effort of reading some of the comics, understanding some of the movies from Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and up to Tom Holland, and then watch the animated films like Into the Spider-Verse, and then watch some of the cartoons. I think that would make a lot of sense, give me more of a grasp, even though I may not have time to read the comic books because that takes some time. And then watch some YouTube videos and some synopsis on certain things. If she said that, I was like, okay, you can't be mad at her. One, she declared that she's not familiar with the character. Two, she said she does like the character's look or like the idea of the character. And then three, she also said she needs to brush up on understanding this character. So if I were to ever be cast, I'll be more professionally prepared. If she said those three things, I had no problem with her. Even though I don't think she acts well compared to like Pedro Pascal, based on what I know, based on Last of Us. But at least if she said that more professionally, I'm like, okay, she can't say I want like move over Tom Holland. Like, first thing, before you say that, most people don't already like you based on the character you played as Ellie, and I don't even think people even liked you in fucking Game of Thrones either. So like, I wouldn't be too cocky making these statements. I'm just saying. I have to go. Want to stay fresh. Thanks so much for the rant. No problem. I have to sleep with my throat dry from laughter. I got you, Gorilla. I got you, bro. Have a great night, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I think she kind of fucked the pig on this one.
No. 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 Absolutely not. You go straight to hell. Go straight to hell. Go straight to hell.
Okay, so
don't
with
pass
JoJo
go,
Siwa, it's funny. Like, I don't like. Okay, I kind of see JoJo Siwa as a form of like everything that is wrong with Hollywood to a degree, where a bunch of actors and actresses try to pretend like they care about social issues. They claim they're a specific type of orientation when they truly isn't, and then this is why I don't take a lot of like celebrities seriously when they say, "Oh, I'm non-binary, I'm trans, I'm this, I'm that," or whatever. Because, like, let's use an example. Like, I think it's Madonna. Madonna has 4 or 5 trans children, as she claims. How the fuck is that possible? How the fuck do you have 5 trans children? Or 6? I think it's either Madonna or what's her name? Heidi Klum, I think. One of them. One of these so-called mothers who adopted these children have all 5 of them or 6 of them are all trans. That shit is crazy. So that usually tells me that they're usually grooming their children to do this to get roles in the future, so they can be, I would say, use that as a form of shielding from criticism. So if they get themselves in any trouble, they can say, "Oh, you're just coming at me because I'm this orientation," or some shit like that. I think that's what they do to their children, or they're just sick individuals. Like, you be hearing how crazy and sick most of these celebrities truly are towards their kids, and they use their kids as a form of like merchandise just to get the point A, point B, or just get woke points half the time. But with JoJo Siwa, to stay on point, I technically have no true problem with her. she just reminds me of what happens when woke Hollywood gets to a point where you can't believe anything you take whatever these celebrities say, because remember she said she was super gay, right? She was doing all the gay stuff, right? She was all for that. And then when she was on Big Brother, you saw how she was reacting. She that too. But like she I would say factory resetted. Yeah. But she factory resetted to what God intended, I guess, if you put it that way. Now she's like super trad wife nonsense. I was like, well, I have no problem with that per se, but like it's how she got there that bothers me than she doing it. Like if she says she's into dudes and that's her thing, that's her thing. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I have no problem with it. It's just like it's the problem with I have with it to a degree is where she was super pushing this like I'm super gay and I'm doing all lesbian stuff and the dancing and the videos and showing how gay she was, and then she came out saying, "Oh, that shit was all for publicity. I'm not really gay." I was like, well, I like we can let's be honest. A lot of celebrities are doing that shit right now. Like most of them who claim they're gay, you probably might think they are because they're doing. Because remember, they're most of them are actors, right? So they know how to act. So they know how to play their role pretty well. You'd be surprised how many of these people will chameleonize themselves like a chameleon to get roles a specific way. That's why I do not. I think to a degree, some people might believe me, some people will disagree. Okay, I'll check it. I think some of you might disagree with what I'm saying here, but hear me out. I believe the dude who plays Homelander from The Boys, I don't think he's gay. I honestly don't think he's gay. I think he came out saying that shit because he knew if he were to play certain villains or certain characters or whatever the case may be, it will obstruct him from not being criticized or stop him from getting roles. I honestly believe he is not gay. I think he says that shit so he can get roles. I think his name's Anthony Starr. I think that's his name. Or, yeah, Anthony Starr, the guy who plays Homelander. I think he's not gay. I think he says that shit just to get roles. Because he played so well. Because, remember, he says he's gay. He says he's gay. He said he came out as gay, but I don't think he's gay. I do not think this man is gay. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think he's doing it to get roles because he knew that he played Homelander so well, and he's not stupid too. I don't think he's stupid at all. I think he did that because he knew that once The Boys is over, it's gonna be very sound like Luke, a villain name. But like I think what happened is that he's not stupid. I think what happens is that he knew that if he plays Homelander way too well to the point that if he plays any other character outside of this man of this character, he won't get his roles will not be as memorable. Right? He plays the super angry, super somewhat racist, somewhat like individual of very complex character of Homelander, right? So it only makes sense to ensure himself to get another role, which he's in other roles now, but he usually plays the same type character, right? So that's where that comes in. I think some people are eyeballing him to play as the villain for Resident Evil movie, that the latest Resident Evil movie that they're producing. I forgot who's the character, the guy with the glasses. I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about. And he plays those type of characters pretty well, very villainous type characters, very complex, very distraught individuals. So I think I do not think he's actually gay. I think he's using it as a form of using it as a form of like just as an insurance policy because you know it's easier to say, oh, they're criticizing me because I'm gay. Yeah, it is. It is actually because when you get typecast, it puts you in a situation. I think that's the term, typecast. It puts you in a situation where you can't really break out of that role, and that happened. That almost happened to Chris Pratt because Chris Pratt back when he was on that one TV show, I forgot what it was called. It was like an office like show, but for frats. Yeah, like it's like an office type show, but for more like college frat boys type thing. I forgot what it was called. Um, he was the fat dude. He was like the funny, chubby, fat guy. But when he realized, like, oh shit, like it once this show's over, I'm kind of like, fucked. He made it his mission to lose weight, and then he really he worked his ass off to lose weight. But he knew he didn't want to fall in the same situation as Noah Hill, I think Jonah Hill, sorry Noah, Jonah Hill, where he lost weight, but because he lost weight, he became less funny. Because remember, Jonah Hill was known as the chubby funny guy because he was chubby. So his chubbiness with his sarcasm and his quick wit was part of his charm. But once he became skinnier, that wit kind of went out the window without the chubbiness, right? It just now you're just a white guy who's kind of witty to a degree, who's saying some funny things, but it doesn't come off as funny because you're not chubby. The aesthetic is not there. So that's why Jonah Hill had a lot of issues getting roles, and then he went back doing directing instead of doing like acting roles. Because a lot of people was very critical of him being chubby again or wanting him to be chubby, and he didn't want to because, well, it's not healthy. So I think what happened, Chris Pratt made it his mission to be funny still, but keep that funniness alongside him losing weight. Yes, technically to a degree, but then again, Jonah Hill did it kind of different. He's not, see, the fat guy funny thing only works at, well, Hollywood wise in the early 2000s as I know it. Maybe some of you may have a different take on this, but like the idea of a fat person, or a fat dude, specifically a fat dude. They do it with girls, but not as much. But they do it usually with dudes in the early 2000s, late 90s. When you're overweight, it was just comedic based on you just physically. Like it was more physical comedy than was like, oh, he said something funny and he's chubby. That's funny and cute and cuddly. No. The difference between that was from Superbad up to whatever movie he's last been. Superbad was focused on I'm unattractive, I'm very aware of it, and I'm going to point it out to you. And if you don't like it, you can go screw yourself and fuck you. I'm gonna try to get some ass. That was the response in Superbad. This attitude of I really don't give a fuck, but I'm gonna try, right? And if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't matter. I was a fat guy anyway. So it's like in video game terms, like if you play like a gag character in a fighting game. Correct, and I think he's dead now. I think he's suicide. I think he died of suicide. But that's why I think I don't think all of them commit suicide, but like most of them don't. They end up being less funny because because that was their shtick. That was the funniness comes from them looking the way they do sometimes, most cases, or them being physically I won't say impaired, but like physically in physical situations where their weight becomes a problem, or they can't run as fast, or how they breathe, or so. Oh, he overdosed. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I thought he committed suicide. Um, I was so certain he committed suicide. But yeah, so like, but with Jonah Hill, he did it differently because it was based on the attitude, not, and he was not super fat. He was chubby, right? He can still run, but it was not like a running where he can like run. You know what I'm saying? But that was part of the gag, and he'll point it out. It was the self-awareness that uh, Jonah Hill and Michael Cera brought to the forefront of the Superbad thing, alongside the small one, I forgot his name, McLovin. It's the awareness, it's the super awareness of being, I know that I'm unattractive, but I'm going to do my best to get some ass. That what made it funny, and that carried on to other shows. And if you notice, if you watch Superbad and any other movie that Jonah Hill is when he was chubby, he's usually pointing out the obvious, like it's because I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? Like in the other movies, they wouldn't really point out the fatness. When you ever would point out the fatness, they'll either get offended or they'll like kind of just take it and move it on. McLovin, there we go. So like it was like that. That's what makes it different. But this is why Chris Pratt was genuinely funny without being fat, because I think he knew this. So he's like, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna work my ass off, and then he looked really good. Hi Aizawa. He looked really good for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. funny. Yeah, it's just the aesthetic. Yeah, it's like it's the aesthetic of him being chubby, but saying and then putting out the forefront of the self awareness.
To just go straight to hell. Picture ain't nobody finna do that. Okay, Marvel been losing enough money as it is. They don't need. Marvel been losing enough money as it is. The last thing they need is your ass tanking another film for them. No, okay, and she is getting absolutely cooked. And they saying they look at this.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, Lord have mercy. No, just no. Let it go. Okay, you need to stick to the plays that you're in.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be that guy, and it might sound like that guy, but just please hear me out. I noticed that, and I think everyone's kind of noticed it too. Disney and Hollywood in general has been hiring all these space-eyed looking women for the longest while. From the girl from Mermaid, the Mermaid, what do you call it? The Little Mermaid, Snow White, Bella Ramsey's. There's a few other women I can't think of right now, but they all have this they have more space between their eyes, and they're so separated very far. I don't know why they've been kind of hiring these type of women based on. I'm talking about just on looks. I'm not talking about their acting skills, but I kind of noticed that lately. They've been picking women that look like this a lot. I don't know why.
Spooder man is insane. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all are insane. Spider them. Right. This is but yeah, this is is this what you want? You want a whole nother session of this getting absolutely cooked online?
Thinking about her reputation, I don't think she cares. To be honest with you, I don't think JoJo Siwa cares about her reputation to a degree. I think she cares, but I don't think she cares. I think she cares because she's JoJo Siwa, and it's gonna follow her everywhere. But I don't think she cares enough of what y'all really think, because she's been through the ringer from being a child star to very young to I think she's in her early 20s, mid 20s now. I think she's in her early 20s still. So it's she's been on Big Brother. She's been pretty much ridiculed under the sun virtually through every little fucking thing. So in all honesty, I don't think she gives a flying shit, because if she did care, she would have been still running with that whole lesbian thing that she was running with. And like I said, I don't think majority of these celebrities, as they claim, they say they're gay. I don't think they are. I don't think majority of them are in part of that LGBT community in the slightest. I think they use that as a form of getting to point A to point B. She's 30? Is she? How old is she? Wait, hold on, wait. How old is she? I thought I was much older than she was. Hold on. How old is JoJo Siwa? No, she's 22. She's not old. She's 22. Her boyfriend is 32. She's 20. Wow, he's 10 years older than her. Wow. Wow, wait. When she was 16, he was in his 20s. Alright, so oh wait, no. When she was 12? He was in his 12. Yeah, she's 22, and her boyfriend, I don't know if they claim each other as boyfriend and girlfriend. I think it's kind of off and on. But Chris Hughes from Big Brother, he's 32. So wait, if she was 12, he was in his 20s. What? They're 10 years apart. So if she was 12, he was in his 20s. He was 22 when she was 12. Holy shit! Whoa, bro. I don't know. Look, I have a strict rule. You have to be a year or two younger than me. If you're older, we have to be the same year. That's how I look at it. If I'm dating you and you have to be older than me, you have to be in the same year as me. Like, you have to be not a year, you have to be like a couple of months older. And I don't really like the whole the lady being older than me or taller than me. That's two things. I don't like it when they're taller than me or older than me. That's just my preference. It's not like I hate women who are tall or anything. It's just like it's just a preference for me. Like, I think if you're a tall dude, you should go with you should be taller than any girl you're with. If you're a mid-sized dude or average-sized dude, you should be taller than the girl you're with. If you're a short dude, you should be at least taller than the girl you're with. That's in my head, but just because that's in my head doesn't mean everyone's gonna fall for that or run with that. That's perfectly fine. That's my preference. That's just me. So it is what it is. Or if she's older than you, I think 1 to 3. I think 3 is still pushing it. I got you, bro. Like, for me, it's like this. It's like 3 years for me is a lot. That's a lot to me. And I know that's like, for some people, that's not a big deal. Some people date like 5, 6 years. I'm like, that's fine for you. For me, I think 3 years is a lot. I think 2 years is pushing it. I think you should be like 2 or 1 years younger. That's it. Because like there's such a gap between that, not because of just the number, but like the attitudes of both individuals. It's very rare for someone to be 22 to be mature at 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna run into some type of like issue somewhere down the line of like what you agree and what you don't agree on, what's important, what's not, what's long term, what's short term, what you consider long term, what she considers short term, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're like different time gaps of your like your lives. Who, me? I'm already in my 30s. So like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Like a lot of young people don't understand this. It's just like, because like a lot of you don't understand this. Like, just because everything's going great now. Yep. But like, just because things are going well now doesn't mean everything will be peachy keen later. So you have to know what you want, know what she wants, know what he wants. Don't waste each other's time because you don't have a lot of time running or so. So you need to know what you want. You need to be very careful on who you pick. Yes. I'm a hard 30. I was 29 last year. But it is what it is. So no, I was born in 94. I'm about to be 35. I'm gonna be with a 25-year-old if she has the intelligence. Well, I'm just saying, not a lot of 25-year-olds have the intelligence is not the problem. It's the emotional intelligence. That's the issue. Because you can be smart and know what 2 plus 2 is, but if you don't really understand the difference between getting a Louis Vuitton bag and knowing how to or saving up to buy a house, and you think getting the Louis Vuitton bag is more important than like saving up and getting a house, you know you have an idiot on your hands. Even if they're making money at like whether it's a tech job or whatever the case may be, it's more of an emotional intelligence and mature intelligence than is. The picture? Educated? Well, are you talking about like academically? You're talking about academically, right?
Is this what you want? I don't know, man. Who are your parents? I think your parents need to step in and say, listen, enough is enough. We need to get out of Hollywood. Because this girl is getting cooked. Oh.
Give me an example on that.
Oh, my God. No, I didn't mean for that to play back to back. I gotta fix that later.
Okay, I think I got everything.
Why would you do this?
Okay, I got you.
Why would you do this? Potato Man is accurate.
I don't know about her parents. I've never heard about this woman's parents in the slightest. I hear about her more. Oh, I got you. I got you.
Hey man, y'all got to stop. Y'all have got to stop. Either way, y'all get the point, man. Y'all get the point. Bella Ramsey, I just stop it. Get some help. Do something. Go do something with your life. Nobody wants you to play Spider-Man. I don't even think you want to play Spider-Man. You just said yourself, the Andrew Garfield movie was the first Marvel movie you've ever watched. So why would you ever be like? Why would you ever be? And please, for the love of God, Kevin Feige, if you know it, if you care anything about your legacy as a producer in Hollywood, you know to never cast Bella Ramsey in anything in MCU. There is nothing she can play in the MCU that anybody's gonna like. Okay, so I'm hearing rumors of Kitty Pryde. No, stop it. Get some help. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what. Oh, so that's how she got famous. That's how she got famous. It was through Dance Moms. Oh, that makes sense now. Kind of lines up all the dancing shit she used to do. Okay, that makes sense.
Then get some help. All right. You want a quick way to turn the entire audience? You saw what just happened with Fantastic Four, right? With casting old boy. What is his name? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Pedro Pascal, that's his name. I want to call the nigga Pablo Escobar for some reason. Pedro Pascal.
Well, you know you're not wrong. He was in the Netflix version of Pablo Escobar. He was.
You see how quickly people was turned off by him? That's gonna be the same way with Bella Ramsey. So don't do it. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grip be with you. I'll talk to you.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you.
Okay, let me see. He sent me something. Go to Discord. It's 7:25. Should I play game? Right, should we play game or no? I'm asking you. Because I'm gonna only ask you because you have to moderate, so. I'll give it to you on that. Let's see here. I have to check that. I got it. I am. Let me see. Are you sure you sent it to me? I don't see it. Oh. Where did you send it to? Discord or Instagram? I think you sent it on Instagram. I think you sent it on Instagram. Okay, makes sense. I thought you said on Discord. Give it 1 second. There is Fate Trigger. There is Peak, but I don't know if you're into it. You pick one. I don't know if you're into any of them. You can suggest anything you want. I'll try to see if I have it.
I'm not the hero the world wants.
Wait. I want to see if I can.
I'm not the hero the world wants. Okay. And I'm not the hero the world needs. But I am the hero.
Wait. Pause it. Try to get up here. Shit. I hate when it does it. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna just play right here because this is really short. It's just an Instagram video. It's real fast. Okay. Let's go.
That the world gets. I'm not the hero the world wants. And I'm not the hero the world needs. But I am the hero that the world gets.
That's crazy. God damn. Spiderman. In a weird way, I believe that JoJo Siwa's like childhood was taken from her to a degree. I would say she probably enjoyed doing the whole like dance stuff, but she probably like slowly started really realizing this shit is annoying. And then when she got fame and fortune, you probably did a lot. Person. I don't know what that is. I'll look at that later. Okay. We draw heads in any angle. Okay. I wanted to do a Gotcha the Kuda video. Adulting the Dark Life of Disney Adult. I may have to hold that off next time. Superman must return. Okay, I got one last video, and this is gonna be pretty funny. What the fuck? Via and MasterCard banned major creator on Patreon. Wow, that's fucking crazy. I got one more video I think I have in mind. We'll play Peak right after this, because I'm pretty much done with the animatic. I just gotta color everything in at this point. The animatic's done. We have all the scenes ready to go. I kept it very simple and to the point, so that's a good thing. Alright. And then tomorrow, if I'm home tomorrow, maybe I should do, I think tomorrow, two things we're gonna do. We're gonna try to do the, finish the PNG, the PNG tuber done, and get that done with the transformer thing. I already asked the client what they wanted me to do with it, and then I finally got the confirmation from them, thank God. And then when we're done with the PNG tuber, we're gonna do, I think we're gonna do some, I haven't done this in a long time, but I might do a trend. I might take part of a trend. I think I might do that. Something that's going on Instagram or Twitter or something, just to take part. I don't see why not. Put my art skills to the test. Do some actual art skills. Maybe I'll do draw this in my own style type thing. I don't know. See what's trending and then take part of it. I know Ari brought it up to me last night, and I haven't done that in a while. And I need to grow my account. And TikTok's growing slowly but surely. TikTok, Instagram is growing fine, but TikTok, I won't say stagnant. It just pisses me off because, well, TikTok's TikTok and it's just dumb. I think I should start growing my Twitter account. I really feel like I should do that and then focus everything. And I think every drawing that I'll do of like anime girls and men will go to the, I would say Patreon, but Patreon's on some bullshit, so I think I'll just send everything to the Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And start making stickers and shit. Alright, enough of my problems. We'll get to it now. This is pretty funny. So this says here, this is from Jabari. For those who don't know, I'm gonna pull up. Sorry. This is from Jabari, or Jamari. Jabari? I think it's Jamari. I'm saying it right. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong for those who actually familiarize themselves with this YouTuber. And I think I'll bring back more anime videos. The Tan Superman. I actually like that. I like when he calls it that, the Tan Superman. Here's the thing. Here it is. Tan Superman. Peace. Alright. There we go.
That vaping is one of the most detrimental.
Okay, so this is from Jamari, and it says, he ruined his life over a vape pen. So some bro destroyed his life over a vape pen, and this was a day ago. This is not like a long time ago. This is a day ago. He posted this up just recently, so this happened pretty recent. So let's hear what happens.
I would say that vaping is one of the most detrimental trends to hit our current generation. I don't know if it's because of the ease of access, or the fact that you can now blow cherry blossom pineapple instead of nasty cigarette smoke, so it's considered more acceptable. But if you've ever had a friend who really be vaping, you know that they get like a damn crackhead without their pipe when that little electric dick they be sucking on goes missing. Now they're flipping over the sofa, they're blaming the dog, punching through sheetrock and shit. And with the story I have for you guys today, You have a dude who was willing to catch federal charges to get that hit. This guy couldn't wait 30 more minutes to get off his flight, and that's when he went to the aircraft bathroom, smashed a blinky, and was met with a very angry stewardess as he documented the entire thing.
It's a hazardous
But
fire.
I was actually sitting on the toilet.
It
You were
doesn't
opening the
matter.
door.
I don't care.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
You can keep saying
Yes.
you're sorry, but I care about
I got
all
it.
these cats.
Yes, I got
You've
it.
been, you've been vaping? You be vaping out here, Mono? Oh shit.
Okay, so it'll be on you, and I see you're recording.
That's fine.
right
You're not
now.
allowed to do that. Hey,
Please record doing that.
did you put your hands on me? She just put her hands on me.
No, she did
Yes, she
not.
did. She put her hands on me.
Why are
She
you
tried to grab my phone.
You're not
No,
supposed to be
but
smoking
yes, but she
anything.
put her hands on me. I have a lawyer. I am a lawyer.
Now notice how this imbecile here immediately decided to play the victim card
Bro said I have a lawyer, I am the lawyer.
almost as if it was second nature, acting like the woman is in the wrong for just trying to do her job and keep the other passengers safe. He even has the audacity to claim that he himself is a lawyer.
I have a lawyer. I am a lawyer. I am a lawyer. Yes, you do not put your hands on me. You do not put your hands on me. I have 25,000 followers. I have 25,000 followers that are going to watch this. That's my bad. Yes, you did. You pulled it right over my chest. Yes, I have it on video. I was recording. So do you want me to release this, or you want to say sorry to me right now?
I mean, come on, this guy is going for the 10 cringe commandments. We got playing the victim, we got lying about legal consequences, and we also got him trying to flex his follower count. I mean, all I'm really
hear
waiting
you,
for at
bro.
this point is for him to say that
That's
he has a
fair.
powerful daddy at home. Like, sir, the only one who should be sued here is your hairdresser for that horrendous cut. I mean, really imagine, guys, if this was your mother at work just trying to get through her day, and someone who is completely in the wrong starts going off on her like this.
Say sorry. Do not touch me. You do not get to touch a passenger. And I was in the restroom. You were opening the door. No, no. I'm actually going to call the police when I get back to the ground on you.
I mean, goddamn, sign this man up for the Victim Olympics right now. I mean, I'm sure at this very moment,
Do not put your hands on a passenger.
she either wanted to A, flick him off, or B, punch him in his smug face. And don't get me wrong, there have always been Karens out in the wild, but I do feel like now more than ever, our society is breeding more and more entitled people. And to me, you honestly lose your right to privacy as soon as you threaten everyone else's safety.
You do not put your hands on a passenger. You reached over me. You tried to grab my phone. You assaulted me. She assaulted me. This flight attendant assaulted me, everybody. This flight attendant assaulted me. She put her hands on me.
This bro's a bitch.
You can't tell me not to record. You're in so much trouble. You're in so much trouble. You know that? You're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, more people record. Everybody record. Everybody record her.
Oh, so now this guy wants to claim it was assault. Like, let's be honest, flying on a plane is already an annoying enough experience.
Oh,
and
so
then
you're-
the fact
you're
that
not
you got
talking about just-
self-righteous douchebag.
What you're talking about is being, yeah, it's more of like being more wise.
Acts like this to worry about makes it even worse. And let me tell you guys, I did look into this fool's background, and with every detail I found
You
out
mean like
about him,
being,
he only got worse. But before we dive into that, and his response on the news, I do have the perfect sponsor for him. Look, I don't want to end up like this fool on the plane catching a potential felony over a vape. And with today's video sponsor Fume, the leading alternative to vaping, I can rest assured that I'm making a good decision while growing stronger against a bad habit. Now, to be clear, this thing is not chemicals, it's not vape, it's not nicotine. It is just natural flavored air that gives you something to reach for without the side effects and the chemicals. I just wanted to show you guys, you take one of these cores, you open up your
So it's
Fume,
not,
you
wait,
slide
it's
it
not a
in this
vape, it's not a cigarette. I know every YouTuber is getting this deal. I don't know. Tell me about this evolve.
Put it back on, take a draw through, and now you got that wonderful flavor going on. Speaking of flavors, Fume has a ton. Personally, I love the spearmint in the morning to get me sharp, and the mango in the evening for something to take the edge off. I mean, even beyond breaking bad habits, I find myself fidgeting with this thing at my desk throughout my day, and I just think it's a really cool device that can actually help people. In fact, over 500,000 have added Fume to their daily routine, and right now if you order the Journey Pack using my code Jamari, you will also get these free Fume toppers with your purchase. So if you're thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect first step. So go to tryfume.com/Jamari, or you can always scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. Now, to get back to this clown, I wanted to see why he was bragging about these 20,000 followers of his. Why does he feel so self-important? Well, it turns out that this dude is a self-proclaimed pickleball coach.
It was, really tough for me to go through all this. I lost all my pickleball coaching clients.
It's saying that. No, it's saying that. It's just like it's actually, you know what? You know what's funny? I have a fidget sample that's coming to my house to do a video on for people who have issues being with fidgeting and stuff like that. I have actually coming in. I don't have that problem. It was just one of those things that they gave me for free. I was kind of like, I don't know, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Fuck it. Why not? I don't see why not. And it might make me a bag, so why not? I'll give it a try. And then the fidget toy is literally it's a button that looks like it's a bunch of buttons of like keyboard buttons. It's keyboard buttons. That's literally what it is. You put it in your hand, you just press the keyboard buttons, and it makes like keyboard button sounds or some shit. I don't know. Well, when it comes to the house, I'll show you. I don't know. It's not like it's the Rachel Legends type sponsorship. That's not the thing, because it's just a video game, right? But like, because the way they say it, get the edge off, just sounds like you're smoking cigarettes. I'm like, I don't know.
Calls himself Kobe because he has
I noticed that they said that a lot in the. I think it's a Gundam said the same thing, getting the edge off. I'm like, wait, isn't people who say that usually smokes?
Well, honestly, he is a disgrace to both Kobe and his entire family lineage. Like, this man got the victim mentality, not the Mamba mentality. And can you guys believe it, that this absolute pussy is still dodging?
Gotcha. Wait, go back a little bit. I didn't hear this part. Oh, sorry.
This dude is a
Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Didn't do that. There we go.
Proclaimed pickleball coach.
It was, really tough for me to go through all this. I lost all my pickleball coaching clients.
And he also calls himself Kobe because he has a hard-on for the Black Mamba. Well, honestly, he is a disgrace to both Kobe and his entire family lineage. Like, this man got the victim mentality, not the Mamba mentality. And can you guys believe it, that this absolute pussy is still dodging accountability?
My experience on American Airlines Flight 2860. On August 4th, 2025, something happened to me that I never imagined I'd have to go through, especially on a commercial airline. While flying on American Airlines Flight 2860, my privacy and dignity were violated in ways that left me shaken, humiliated, and hurt. I'm sharing this because I believe no passenger should ever go through this. The incident has impacted my mental health, my work, and my ability to trust the very systems meant to keep us safe. I have lost a very important friend through all of this, someone I cared for deeply and who was a very important part of my life. I'm not just a CEO and nonprofit founder, I'm also a Hollywood producer. The reputational harm from this incident has been devastating to my career. I have formally taken this matter to American Airlines legal department. My goal is not only accountability, but to make sure this never happens to anyone else. I will fight for justice, privacy, and dignity for every passenger.
So basically, I read this as if he's setting up his case against American Airlines as some sort of discrimination or mental distress. Like, my guy, you could not control your urges to the point that you needed to go suck your little electric penis in the bathroom.
It sucks knowing that in order to be myself, I have to have nicotine.
It's also hilarious that at first he was a lawyer.
I am a lawyer.
That was total shit. And now he's apparently a CEO and a Hollywood producer.
I forgot to tell you guys, I'm a Hollywood producer.
I even saw a video where he was saying he was a sports agent.
I've been a sports agent you know, since 2014.
Like I said, everyone in his family
Bullshit.
lineage, including Kobe as well, is looking down saying, what the hell are you doing to our legacy, son?
You know, when we came to America, my family lived in a one-bedroom, like all four of us. And then we had to share a place with like my great uncle and my uncle just to be able to pay Section 8. All the hurtful stuff, it's like so unwarranted. Because I've had to work so hard to get here.
You can't be
imagine
serious.
you go through all of that as his parents and he still grows up to be an entitled little douchebag.
We finally did it, Dad. You know, you guys can drag my name through the mud and you can say everything you want to say about me, but I'm never changing who I am, so you're gonna have to get used to that.
I got fans! I got fans!
Bro, when your inability to change for the better gets and you say you're not gonna change, you're gonna have a real problem. Like, I understand not to change for yourself for like no reason, like just for no reason, but if the way you are is causing like literal harm to not only yourself but others, you need to stop. You need to reflect a little bit.
Yes, I swear to God, I seen him on Reddit earlier today.
Dude.
Holy fuck.
I also found yet another clip on his profile just a couple of weeks ago where he had another problem with someone else while playing pickleball.
You cannot ban me. You said good luck on your house on the way out. You asked me if I should cancel my membership.
I want to clarify.
No, you said it passive aggressively.
You said that you no longer want to come to our facility.
I said I'll be out of your hair once the home closes. Everyone is nice until the camera's on. Thank you so much for showing me.
And did I mention he also put an entire novel out about disliking white people? How he's basically a victim as an Asian man? So obviously the victim card is a running theme in his life.
You guys really, really, really messed my life up. You guys ruined my lives. Like, this is why online harassment is bad.
And he also runs an AI management company. I mean, this guy is like everything wrong with the world embodied in one single person. He even tried to paywall his side of the story on Instagram.
Hey guys, if you want to know what really happened, yeah, you can join this channel. And yeah, I'll dish about why I was actually mad. And honestly, it might not have even been the nicotine withdrawal.
And since then, he also posted this photo saying no flight ban, where he is once again pictured in the aircraft bathroom for some reason shirtless. I mean, this motherfucker is acting as if he's some sort of hero. Like, you would think he was like the Asian Rosa Parks or some shit like that. And really the most pathetic part of all of this is the news interviews he did after the fact, where, surprise surprise, he still plays the victim.
I spoke to passenger Peter Nguyen today.
You break federal law, you post it, and then you attack a woman who's doing her job. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, that's...
How do you respond to that?
Honestly, if I saw that video, I would hate myself.
He says he suffers from an anxiety disorder. Became
I already know you do already, bro.
After his father was diagnosed with cancer.
I was saying like, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then when she reached for my phone, I felt like that was a violation of my civil liberties.
As for those claims he's a lawyer,
you're not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer.
And you've not been in law school.
I was pre-law. Yeah, I was
but
not
in law school.
Yeah, not in law school.
So he's not a lawyer.
5 minutes later.
Do you wish that you didn't vape in the bathroom on the plane?
I wish that I never picked up a vape to begin with. It sucks knowing that in order to be myself, I have to have nicotine. That is such, like, I feel so helpless. Sorry to all the other passengers. Like, there's no excuse.
Why do I have this weird feeling that his actual lawyer told him to say this.
Yeah, so this clown is absolutely full of shit. Truthfully, I don't know if I've ever in my life seen someone run from accountability so hard, and also still remain so cocky about himself, bragging about his intramural basketball championship. To make matters worse, he's also recently filed a police report against the stewardess, and I'm guessing that he might go for the full-on lawsuit against American Airlines next. I mean, I'm really just praying for the American Airlines employee, and I do think this idiot should be on a no-fly list, with a federal charge that gets up to a felony charge on his bitch ass. I mean, I don't know, the fact that some people can run around and be this delusional when they're this much in the wrong, and he's also had time to reflect, he had time to edit that video and post it onto his profile, and it's like he's still out here putting on this show. It's an absolute joke.
You guys ruined my lives. Like, this is why online harassment is bad.
But I do want to know what you guys think about this situation down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing, and I encourage you to go try out Fume so you don't get in a situation like this. But either way, y'all know it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other entitled Karens out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace.
I am a lawyer.
Alright guys, that's the end of that. We're gonna go and play some Peak. You ready for this, Mike? I'm gonna jump on Peak. We're gonna play a little bit till like 9 or 10. And then we'll call it a night. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, for me doing artwork. I appreciate every last one of you guys. I do appreciate your commentary and your help, and just you guys enjoying and watching the show with me and stuff like that. I like doing these reaction videos. It makes it much more interesting alongside just doing my artwork. So with that said, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. I'll also go. Okay, Mona, have a great night, dude. Bye, Teach. Yeah. I just joined. Sorry, bro. We're about to jump out. Sorry. We was streaming earlier, but no one came. Alright. We're gonna go play we call it Peak. So I'll see you guys in a bit.